Hey, hi, how are you? Welcome to Tuesday. It's good to see you all. It is good to be seen by you all. How's everybody doing? Who am I to ask you all these questions? Why, I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. That means I delve in dungeons. What do you do? Anyway, greetings, Ian. Live long and process. Good to see you. Good to see you. But anyway, it is Tuesday. Jimmy Invictus, greetings. Greetings to you. Yes, it is Tuesday, and Tuesday, of course, means at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard. That is in about an hour and 10 minutes from wherever you're at, regardless. GMT, Zulu, Eastern Standard, Mountain, Western and Mountain. It is all those things. But at that time, we will be live stream playing some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which I had hoped to bring to you on the tabletop. The tabletop is a little occupied right now because it is a workspace. Stuff is being worked on over there. And what, you may ask, is being worked on? With my apologies to headphones listeners, why, it's the Green Devil face stone wall tiles for your desk, for your gaming table, to both amuse and terrify anyone who looks upon them. So those are currently painting. They will be done and shipped on Thursday. What comes next? Owl bears. But hold on. They're not available yet, so don't send me any requests. Anyway, so that is what's happening tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm putting on my Hawaiian shirt and putting my unshod feet up on the table. I'm not really going to do that. It shakes terribly. Metaphorically. And I'm going to let Kyle drive for a good stretch tomorrow. That's right. From 8 o'clock until whenever, we are going to play Classic Traveler under his firm but gentle, nay, caressing hand of game mastership. So if you like Classic Traveler, and you should if you're hanging around with me, classic role-playing game guy, and a wall of it about to fall on me, you'll want to stick around for that. Thursday is just kind of a chill night, mellow night. It may be chill where you are. I don't know. But that is Thursday, and we'll do something on Friday. I'm entirely certain something will happen to you all on Friday. You can rest assured, because Friday we're jettisoning usual content, and all evening Friday, however long it takes me, we will be wrapping up the October horror Friday nights live stream games of Call of Cthulhu. That concludes this Friday. And then Monday, if any of you are still alive and sane, we start the whole process up again. And folks, I'm here to tell you something. If you're not subscribed to the show, if you're just stopping by because YouTube has recommended me, first of all, thank you for stopping by. Second of all, please click that subscribe button. Please click that bell icon next to it. That is the most helpful thing. And put the good word out. Tell people, hey, there's this crazy guy. And 5 nights a week, he live streams. He doesn't have a show. This isn't some 28-minute thing he edited together with a free version of Filmora. No. This is hours of quality role-playing game, vintage quality role-playing game content that you don't get anywhere else. Jack Photon says, chill, it's about 280 Kelvin. Mars is no place to raise a kid. In fact, it's cold as hell. Mobius, good to see you. Good to see you again. 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 It's a Mobius strip joke. I didn't say it was a good joke, but there it is. Free to me. It's free to me. Yeah. Free to me. Not free to a lot of people. Filmora is a little bit. It's an editing package. It costs money. It's a little better than Windows Movie Maker, I think. But anyhow, Jack Photon says, you're all delayed out here on Alpha Centauri time, but it's all good. I just watched a late beam show of yours from tomorrow. It's that new Tachyon network card I got plugged into the PC. Or will it be plugged in later? Ooh, something to consider. Shatner's version of Rocket Man is superior to Elton John's. You know, I couldn't pretend to argue with it. So the show nominally starts at 8. I kicked it off a few minutes early because I just wanted to sit back for a few minutes and BS with you guys. But we're gonna, stuff is coming because the first half of tonight, before we go play first edition AD&D, and it's happening real soon. Don't wander off. No, stay. Come on, sit back down. You're not leaving. I said stop. Anyway, tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to dig into, what are we going to dig into, boys and girls? What's that? What I hear you saying? That's right. Deities and Demigods. You know it. And we're about to wrap up the Chinese mythos. And I think from there, we go into Etruscan? No. Gosh, what? Danish myths. That's it. Chinese to Danish myths, then on down the line. Demi-human. This is my preamble ramble. Yes, this is my preamble ramble. That's a good way to put it. Thank you. See, I surround myself with superior intellects, and they do all the heavy brain lifting for me. Imperial Ramblings is why we're able to have the nice, crisp, clear sound going in. He helped me set up this whole thing with my audio, with voice meter and all. And I mean, I have this lovely workstation that's got it's weird. So like, you ever tow something in your car? When you tow something, you want to be in low gear. You want a lot of low gear torque. You don't want, because you ain't going to go anywhere with high gear, low torque, right? So the workstation I now have that I use is a low gear, high torque compared to the later generation i7 that it replaced. See, it's a Xeon. It's got a bajillion cores, but its clock speed is technically slower, but it's just that much better. Chinese followed by a Danish. Well, Kirk ordered coffee with his chicken salad sandwich, so to each their own. There you go. There you go, Jack Photon. Coffee and a chicken salad sandwich. Don't forget the chicken soup in the replicator. I always thought it was awesome that right there in the transporter room, there's a food replicator. It's like, who's working transporter tonight? Oh, it's Riley. Yeah, he's gonna be using that food replicator. But anyhow, yes, IR got me this awesome workstation, and so many. I can throw a question out there to you guys, D&D related, something that I might not have at my fingertips, and y'all know it. I say this show is educational. You're the masters. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. No, that's not that. When I left you, I was but the master. Now I am the learner. Do you ever go to a Chinese place, like a Chinese buffet, and they've got like these little donuts, little cake, little powdered. They're cake donuts. They're like this big, with a little bit of powdered sugar on them. Never cared for them. Always tasted like it was one of those little cellophane packets of donuts. You buy it like in 6 at 7-Eleven. Cybernaculum. Greetings. Are you here to convert our flesh bodies into metal and alloys and circuitry? Is that your thing? But anyway, yeah, tiny donuts at Chinese buffets. Weird. Never understood that. Master Poe, why do you call me grasshopper? Because you are ugly like insect. So, I always love that joke. I always love that. Praxis said you would love it here. I hope you do love it here. I hope you do love it here. Chicken fried rice and an apple fritter. Necrons, or did GW? Of course, GW stole Necrons. Necrons are Terminator endoskeletons. They're literally just Terminator endoskeletons. Hell, their story is stolen from Fred Saberhagen's Berserker series. I'm glad. We are lots of fun. We have fun here all the time. We make fun on the show. Like if I just said, you know what? I'm not going to read Deities and Demigods tonight. I'm not going to have the guys on and we're going to play first edition AD&D. If I did that, there'd be people disappointed, sure, but we'd still have fun. We'd still have fun. This spring is the 3rd anniversary. I will probably do a 24-hour live stream. So you got to figure like 17 hours, 13 hours, something into that. Oh, fun's going to be popping off. Fun is going to be popping off. We have fun all the time on my show. Even when I'm angry, which is rare. I mean, come on. I don't think any of you guys have seen me like angry, right? Hear me in my first edition AD&D. Watching me from Argentina? No way! That is awesome. Well, greetings to Argentina and first edition AD&D in South America. My dude! Welcome. That is awesome. Thank you, Pan Souza. So I got to relate something. A buddy of mine about 6 or 7 years ago went to Chile. And I don't know where he was in Chile, but he was blown away because he went into a shop and he said, Bill, I wish I bought it. I so wish I bought it. He saw softback first edition AD&D players handbooks on the shelves in a game store. Like he found a game store somewhere in the city he was in Chile, and they had softback 1E AD&D players handbooks. Oh, man, I should have bought one. That's cool. See, that's I got people in Australia, Canada, the UK, Europe, and now South America. We're global, baby. Delver's Dungeon is worldwide. You can't escape it. You can't get away from it. I'm everywhere. You'll be walking past like some info kiosk somewhere, getting on a train in Norway, ready to board a flight in New Delhi, taking a train through the Australian heartland. Here I am. I'm everywhere. But I am a benevolent first edition AD&D overlord. I'm a benevolent first edition AD&D overlord. My indignant polemic against WotC may have been the only time you see me really incensed. Which one? Which one? You know what? That's not even a super, and I'm putting that right up. Pan Souza, you are awesome. That makes my night, dude. That makes my night, knowing that I have reached people to that extent. Oh, that one. Yeah. You'll look out your bathroom window and see Bill staring back. Yeah. When fighting dungeon masters, one must take care against not becoming a dungeon master oneself. Because truly, when you stare into the Delver's dungeon stares back into you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Tell all your game. You know what, Pansuza, are you on our Discord? I am inviting you right now. Anybody out there, I'm inviting you to our Discord. Because guess what? Guess what, my friend? I would love to rap with you about the old school gaming scene where you are in the world. So we're going to, let's see, invite people, Cappy. Find love on the best dating site. We have robots who love this show. Oh, let's just block that shit right there. I almost blocked myself by accident. I did get a Discord. Yay! Oh no. Oh, what in the hell is going on? Oh my God. I just got a message from somebody on Discord that says YouTube is blocking my chat again. Sorry, I won't be here for page 43. That's crap, brother. Oh, that is awful. What's going on? The Doxy table. Yeah, no kidding. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Everybody subscribe. Please subscribe to Jack Photon on YouTube. He's a small channel, but he's got great content. He's coming up. Subscribe to Jack Photon on YouTube. Seek out Jack Photon on YouTube and give him a subscribe. He's got great vintage Star Trek role-playing game content on his YouTube channel. All right. Well, we are past the 15-minute mark. And I am going to talk to you guys because it is Deities and Demigods time. Share screen. Let me click share screen 7 times. Okay. So we left off just before we got to this interesting fellow in Deities and Demigods. Pan, I'm gonna just for the sake of screen clarity, but brother, I have no problem with you, my friend. Thank you. All right, so Shanhai Qing, god of wind and sea. 366 hit points, special attacks, hurricanes, and summoning. Please stay away from the east coast of Florida, sir, from now on, or around on the other side. He is lawful neutral. He is from Nirvana. He's not he actually functions better in the dark because with the lights out, it's less dangerous. This god has a rock's body with the oversized head of a man. He has 2 main attributes: the power to raise up a hurricane, doing 5 to 50 points of damage per melee round, and the power to call forth any creature of the sea of non-divine nature. It's important of non-divine nature. You don't want Shan Hai Cheng going, "Hey, Cthulhu." You don't want that. To do his bidding. His wind force is said to be able to last a full day when great wrath is upon the deity. His summoning power will seem to create beings from the very water. 1 spell attack against Shanhai Cheng will per round will be turned back upon the caster. If multiple spells are cast, the one turned is chosen at random. The god and his cleric serve all beings using the sea, and any trip out into the oceans requires a sacrifice to this deity for good winds and the like. And we have I think his original there is Darlene, and then this one, of course, is Jeff D. with its typical awesome levels of detail. I cannot complain too much about a lot of Jeff D's artwork. A lot of it is great. Damien says, Rocky, get out, Robert. No, come back in. If they have to suffer through my puns, so do you, especially for that one. Rock you like a hurricane. I forgot what I was saying. All right, let's jump right back into it. We have Spirits of the Air. Banishes your dirty laundry to the land of wind and ghosts. Spirits of the Air, 1 to 100. These are monsters. Armor class 4, 50 hit points. We can take them. Dual 2 to 20 attacks. They are neutral. Minions of the wind gods. They can be summoned in numbers of up to 100. They have black skin, large bat wings, clawed feet, which they use in battle, and a tusked monkey's head. No, we can't take them. Just leave them. Leave them. They exist to fight for the gods, attacking as 11 hit dice monsters. Yow. I have always been fascinated by Tomu. She is neither good nor attractive. There is something so insanely cool about Tomu. Goddess of the North Star. 300 hit points, armor class -3, chaotic evil, evil beings, symbol lotus and bow. I think it's probably this. If I had to say what attracted me to her, it's that. And we'll get to that in just a second. Lots of great stats. Charisma's 5, but she's a god, so. Tomu appears on the earth with 16 massive arms, 8 eyes in her barely human head, and red scaly skin. She uses many weapons in battle, a magical bow that never misses anything within 100 yards, the arrows of which do 1 to 10 points of damage, a +3 spear that hits for 3 to 30, a +3 dancing sword, a large red flag that projects 3 death spells from its fold, every melee round. All of you punk bitches that are like, we went through Deities and Demigods and killed all the gods. No, you didn't, because I promise you, you got here and you were ended. Unless there were like 9,000 25th level players. And the dragon's head, a living red dragon's head that breathes fire as a normal dragon with 80 hit points. A piece of the moon that's able to block any single hit directed at her person in any given melee round, and a lotus flower that heals all wounds at a touch. I'm guessing she doesn't use that on people. Just herself. Oh, props to you, Awi. Avoid being struck by her fists of the north side. Hey-o! Let's see what you did there. All right. She has 5 chariots at her disposal that fly through the air at 24-inch speed and move at her command, even though there is no visible force to pull them. The chariots are all of adamant, with gold figures of dragons decorating the sides of each. The chariot tongues appear to be made of solid diamond and are 32 feet long. The wheels are of unbreakable green jade, and sparks fly from them whenever they're used to run over beings in battle, and that'll inflict 2 to 12. Just in case the dragon's head, the death projections, the bow that never misses, the spear that does 3 to 30, just in case any of that wasn't enough, she'll run you over and do 2 to 12 points of damage. Potentially a first level magic user could survive that. Potentially. We have this absolutely gorgeous dragon by David S. LaForce. He kind of worked his name into faux Chinese characters there. You gotta love it. And Jeff D. I wonder who did which. That is a lovely dragon by that power duo. Like when David Sutherland and Dave Trampier would do stuff together. And that is, of course, you can see that's Darlene's art again. We love us some Darlene around here. We are rather fond of Darlene. Yen Wang Ye, Judge of the Dead. Now, you might think this guy is evil. Judge of the Dead, kind of a sinister looking picture. Not so. Awig, come on. There's no need for that. Come on, man. She does it on purpose. He's a greater god, 349 hit points, death ray, but he's neutral. Worshippers align neutral. Red helm wrapped with orange ribbons on a yellow background. That's vivid. You'll know he's coming for you. 20th level cleric, 18th level fighter, 15th level magic user, 15th level assassin, 12th level monk, just in case. And he's got pretty good stats. So appears as a warrior with black skin. When in battle, he likes to shape change into an oriental dragon and uses powers for dealing out death. His 2 eyes cast death rays every melee round, and his +3 broadsword does 2 to 20 points per strike. Anyone touching his body with anything will become paralyzed. Saving throw applicable. This god collects all the souls and spirits of the dead and makes sure that they are transported to the proper plane and do not roam the earth at will. He tracks down spirits that do and makes them suffer for eternity. Don't go haunting. If you're like, I have unfinished business in life, too bad. Because if this guy finds you, you think you had unfinished business before, just get on to the afterlife. He doesn't hate you, but you better not stick around. So he's not a terrible fellow. He's not the god of death or anything like that. Yen Wang Ye. So that finishes up the Chinese myths. What should we do now, guys? We've got a while before the AD&D game. What do you think we should do? You tell me. You guys are out there. You're in the chat. Light Main, good to see you. Ome wa shindiru. Teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid. Pan Souza, is there something you would like to discuss? TJ wants Norse. Awig wants Finnish. There we go. More Master Poe jokes. That's the only one I've got. It's back in the 70s. There's an episode of SNL that David Carradine was actually on because Kung Fu was on TV and still kind of popular. And he goes into a convenience store and he's asking all these mystical questions, and the guy's just like, look, I don't know, pal. Do you want to get to something? You got to take this away. And he goes, it's like, it's like, thank you for your help, but you have dishonored me. I must now destroy this shop in slow motion. And so he starts slowly knocking stuff over. And the shopkeeper's calling the cops. There's Chinese and Finnish, fermented fish. 1,000-year fish. Hub. So anyway, I guess there's mythos after the Chinese. I guess it'll just hop straight to Finnish. And then we can move on. Right? Here, let's zoom in so we can see the... Oh my! Look what I found, everyone. Page 43 of Deities and Demigods, Cthulhu Mythos. The Cthulhu Mythos. Now, for all of my friends out there, and I've said this before, this copy of Deities and Demigods is unobtainium. You can get an expurgated version of this from Wizards of the Coast. They will never make this available. If you feel like you're having a guilty conscience, yes, seek this PDF out, but then go buy the available PDF of it. Connecticut. Praxis is yelling from upstairs. Pantsu says, there's too many things I learned to play with books, but not with groups of people. Aw. There are many things that I don't know how they handle. Well, stick around, Pansuza, because guess what? This isn't just fun and goofy fun. We teach, we educate. Cthulhu Mythos. Now, before we launch into the Cthulhu Mythos, Let me tell you how this came about. When Jim put this together, he wanted to include these. He asked Gary. Gary said, I think that's a great idea. So he did it. He wrote it. The book went into production. He contacted the pen and paper role-playing game at the company, the pen and paper role-playing game company that was making a Cthulhu RPG, which at the time and still is Chaosium. And Chaosium said, we don't care. You're not reprinting our stuff. Do it for your own. They wrote him a letter and sent it back to him. And he said, yay. This book went through 50,000 plus copies of this rendition. 50,000 copies. And unexpurgated Deities and Demigods is neither rare nor should it command the price it does. It was never illegal. There were never lawsuits. It is not immoral to own a copy. It was not removed because this stuff is too satanic. They were not sued by Chaosium. They didn't pirate it. It's not unethical. It was entirely legal. So why did it disappear from the face of the earth, taking Cthulhu mythos and Melnibonéan mythos with it? And the simple answer is the Bloom brothers were stupid, greedy bastards. They were stupid, greedy bastards who didn't want to promote another company. They didn't want to promote another company. Guys, role-playing games are like YouTube, okay? You can watch my channel and be subscribed to it, and watch the Dungeon Minister's channel and be subscribed to it, and watch Jack Photon's channel and be subscribed to it. Okay? It's not like television. It's not like old broadcast TV. Well, it's 9 o'clock on Wednesday. I want to watch Friends. Oh, but, Frasier's on the other channel. So you got to click. You got to decide. You got to, you got to figure out which one you want to watch. That's not how it is. That's never how it was. Look at these shelves. Look at the games I have. I know my picture is small. I have giant robot games that are as far removed from AD&D as me from the moon. I have Call of Cthulhu. I have AD&D. I have role-playing games of every genre on those shelves, sitting in boxes on the floor or out in the family room. The Blooms didn't understand that. They didn't understand that gamers like lots of games and that it's possible to buy Chaosium stuff and to buy TSR stuff. They wanted to be the only people on the block. What can I say, Dave L? I feel stupid and contagious tonight. So we wound up with this book being neutered. And the Blooms did it so fast that the back blurb on the cover says it's 144 pages and this many mythos. Jim said, I can come up with 2 more and you can print those. You can stick those pages back in, but with new myths. And the Blooms didn't want to do it. They didn't want to stop production to put 2 new myths in. So now you know the rest of the story. Let's talk about these eldritch horrors. The Cthulhu mythos were first revealed in a group of related stories in the American writer by the American writer H.P. Lovecraft. Beginning with the Call of Cthulhu in Weird Tales, Lovecraft began referring in his horror stories to a pantheon of beings known as the Old Ones, who had descended to Earth from the stars in pre-human times. First worshipped by the non-human races of the planet, the Old Ones were later banished or locked away by the Elder Gods. The Elder Gods do not enter into the stories much, and their identity is a mystery. They left the Old Ones weakened but not destroyed. When man appeared, he found traces of the older civilizations and remnants of the pre-human races. Religions grew up around the Old Ones and legends of their imminent return to power, especially around Cthulhu. Bits of the old lore were discovered and transcribed into books, extremely dangerous books. Lovecraft's friends, who included Clark Ashton Smith, Frank Belknap Long, Robert Bloch, Robert E. Howard, and August Derleth. And I got to include somebody that Jim didn't mention there. Slightly, just a little bit, Fritz Leiber. And when I was thinking about this last night, that he didn't mention Fritz Leiber, and Leiber corresponded with Lovecraft also, probably not to the extent that these others did. He wanted to put Cthulhu, or have an appearance of Cthulhu, in the Fafhrd and Grey Mouser worlds. Lovecraft read the story, the Fafhrd and Grey Mouser story, and passed on it. But, dig this. I hung around with, I would say, lowercase f friends with Gary Gygax. Gary Gygax hung around with capital F friends with Fritz Leiber. Fritz Leiber, correspondent with HPL. I'm 3 steps removed from Lovecraft. That just blows my damn mind. Anyway, they wrote stories that tied in with the discovery of pre-human relics, the revival of ancient worship, or the consequences of finding a forbidden book dealing with the Old Ones and their secrets. No great effort was made to keep these stories consistent with each other. After Lovecraft's death in 1937, August Derleth founded Arkham House Publishing Company to reprint his works. Derleth also wrote a number of stories dealing with Lovecraftian themes or based on fragments of Lovecraft's writing. Since then, a number of younger authors, outstanding among whom are Lynn Carter, Ramsey Campbell, and Brian Lumley, have written stories based on the growing Cthulhu mythology. And this is 1981. Think about what a pop phenom it is now. Most of the creatures presented here were introduced by the earlier authors, Lovecraft, Derleth, and Smith. Derleth introduced the concept of a struggle between the Old Ones and the forces of good. Lovecraft's original concept was far less sanguine. All of his gods were evil and chaotic, and the best mankind could expect from them was indifference. If you have not read any stories in the Cthulhu tradition, start with Lovecraft himself. Very wise word from Jim there. Very wise words from Jim. Many of his stories are straight supernatural tales and do not deal with the Old Ones, but The Call of Cthulhu, The Whisperer in Darkness, At the Mountains of Madness, which is really more of a novella, The Dunwich Horror, and The Shadow Out of Time give the flavor of his work. Then read the imitative writings of Derleth and the modern writers. Fortunately, most of these stories are gathered into collections of Lovecraft's work and published in paperback. Now, I was lucky enough to stumble on a 3-set, I'll tell you the story some other time, but I have the Arkham House hardbacks that came out in the 80s with beautiful, gorgeous color covers. Of all the stories, and I've read myself of the incomplete Del Rey paperback editions. Hey, just relax, Jack Photon. I'm sending the Glacky to you. So just hold still while he slides that hollow needle into you, pumps you full of Glacky servant juice, and you become, a mindless servitor. Cults of men, and particularly of non-human creatures, keep alive the worship of the great old ones and anxiously await their return to power. Various evil magic users and priests, desirous of superhuman powers, experiment with some of the forbidden books, such as the Necronomicon, and occasionally unleash some horror on themselves or their surroundings. Merely speaking the name of one of the old ones results in a 5% chance that the god named will hear, for these deities are quite attuned to the prime material plane. If the god does hear its name spoken, it will appear and attempt to kill the being so rash as to speak its name. Some of the greater gods will send minions to accomplish this. Now, as far as Lovecraft stuff is concerned, that's not necessarily so. It's never explicitly stated in his stories that that happens. If that's more of a Clark Ashton Smith or August Derleth thing, I'm not 100% sure, but there you go. Now, where Jim may be getting that, if not from those stories, is that you have Hastur, the dreaming god, Hastur, the unspeakable, he who must not be named. Old Marvel Tarzan, he encountered Abdul al-Hazred, the Mad Arab. That's very cool. Trivia time. Did you guys know that there is a Star Wars Lovecraft crossover? And I don't mean in like the 24 hojillion novels that came out between like 1992 and 2010. In Splinter of the Mind's Eye, Luke is seeking the first, well, it's the first mention of it, but in that book, it was a unique item called the Kaber Crystal. And it was in the Temple of Pomogina on this swamp planet. And when he finds the idol of Pomogina, it is perfectly described as Cthulhu, which is not the only mention of Lovecraft's work by ADF. He also mentions it in the novelization of The Last Starfighter, but I'm going too far afield. Special note: all creatures of nature are very sensitive to the presence of all creatures of the Cthulhu mythos. They instinctively call out their warning sounds and flee if any of the old ones or their minions come within range of their senses. Now, you have this massive nuclear chaos here. Note the signature, Ool. That is a reference to D2 or possibly D1, a treasure you can find amongst the Drow is a painting by the famous Drow artist Ool Ertz, which of course is Errol Otis, scrambling of that. So we know from that this is Errol Otis's work. I didn't know that. I did not know that the Periton was from Borges. Is it Borges with a soft G or Borges with a hard G, Pan? You'll have to clue me in on that. Splinter of the Mind's Eye was good. The Han Solo trilogy was good. And there's Riley as drawn by the only person who could draw Riley, Errol Otis. A hard G, so it's Borges. Okay, thank you. And guys, we got to talk about this dude. We got to talk about Squidhead himself. Cthulhu, greater god, chaotic evil, immune to magical control, +2 or better weapons to hit, regeneration, 80% magic resistance, 100 feet tall, chaotic evil, 16 hit dice monster, 20th level magic user. He doesn't need anything else. And that charisma, by the way, if you guys can't quite see that, if that's a little faint, yeah, that's -7. That ain't 7. That is -7. And that's on a good day when he's had time to do his tentacles. Cthulhu is a bloated humanoid form 100 feet high with an octopoid head and a face of tentacle-like cilia. It has scaly, rubbery skin and prodigious hands and feet. with curved talons. A pair of folded bat-like wings protrude from between his shoulders. Funuli Mathal Cthulhu Ryle Wagnal Faktang. In his house in Ryle, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. Ryle is a great sunken city of non-Euclidean geometry hidden somewhere beneath the ocean. So bizarre is its construction that anyone entering the city, which occasionally rises above the waves, must make saving throws at +4 against fear and insanity. Cthulhu lies in a huge stone structure sealed with the Elder Sign. If the seal is broken and the god released, everyone and or everything in a 100-mile radius must make a saving throw against death or go insane. This insanity lasts for a number of months, equals to the creature's intelligence. Cthulhu usually attacks by both physically and psionically. He can regenerate 10 hit points per melee round. He teleports up to 1/2 mile at will and is totally immune to the effects of water, cold, and vacuum. He can call up from the sea 10 to 100 of the deep ones. He will retreat into his lair if confronted with an intact elder sign, another of the old ones, such as Hastur, or some natural catastrophe, such as the re-sinking of the city of Ryle into the sea. Cthulhu is served by the deep ones, as well as his human worshippers, who often interbreed with fishmen. Cthulhu's cult is usually hidden and secret, and is dedicated to bringing about Cthulhu's return and conquest of the world. Now, for my money, Azathoth is way worse. The only advantage is that Azathoth sits in the middle of creation, and an earthquake's not going to bring him up to the surface of the earth. I also think his damage per attack is pretty manky, 3 to 18. Granted, it's times 20, but still. It's because of Cthulhu mythos appearing in Deities and Demigods that I just... Same, Jimmy. Same. Exactly the same. Now, interestingly, Azathoth is not evil. He is chaotic neutral. It's not going to help. Note his size. It's inconceivable. Also note, despite having a mighty high strength, his intelligence and wisdom are nil. Azathoth is a blind, mindless, amorphous mass the size of a star, floating at the center of the universe on the astral plane. It is attended by satellite creatures that provide an eerie music like the sound of idiot flute players. Azathoth is somewhat solid near its center and can be attacked there, but it will defend itself with its many pseudopods if so attacked. Any creature coming within 1,000 miles of Azathoth must save versus spells at -6 or go permanently mad. Those who worship Azathoth worship insanity, and Azathoth's clerics are themselves insane. It is unknown how he grants powers to its clerics, or even if Azathoth is aware of them, which is doubtful. He gets slightly better stats, for my money, in actual Call of Cthulhu RPG. Bayeki, Servants of Hastur. Errol, I think you gave him too much face detail, buddy. That you gave them any at all is too much. These giant, furry, bat-like creatures have humanoid legs that enable them to stand like men. They can be summoned by clerics of Hastur through use of a gate spell. 1 to 4 will appear. They are able to teleport throughout the prime material plane at will, carrying human beings with them on their backs or in their talons. They are intelligent, telepathic, and will obey those who carry the Elder Sign or who appeal successfully to Hastur. We have this lovely amoeboid looking thing. Another Errol Otis masterpiece. And what do we have here? Cthulhu, master of the fire elements. He is chaotic evil, 40 yards across. He doesn't need any of that stuff. He resembles a flaming amoeba with tentacles that appear to be flames emanating from its body. The heat of his body does 5 to 50 points of damage to all within 100 yards, and it attacks with fire spells at the same time. It cannot be controlled and is immune to all heat and cold attacks. It is able to cast any fire spell of any type as a 30th level spellcaster at the rate of 2 per round. While casting fire spells, it also lashes out with 2 of its tentacles per melee round. These do 3 to 30 points of damage. It moves as a blink dog and attempts to destroy everything within its area to which it is summoned. When appearing in any location, its first act is to summon 1 to 20 of its flame creatures. Cthulhu can only be struck by +3 weapons or better, as all others melt when touching him. Jack says, the size of a star. The 1980s understanding of stellar dynamics. How quaint. I mean, a star could be a little bit bigger than Jupiter, or even a little smaller if you're talking about neutron stars, or smaller than the Earth if you're talking about neutron stars. Or 3 times the size of our solar system. And then he's got these flame creatures that are also bad. They're smaller versions of their master. Their bodies radiate 10 points of heat damage to all within 20 yards, and they can cast a single heat ray that does 2 to 20. One of their functions is to appear when the god is supposed to appear, but is too busy or chooses not to come. Supposed to appear. I expected Cthulhu. What even are you? What is this? Cthulhu was supposed to appear. Now, we're kind of getting into stuff that I don't agree with. First of all, Jim's representation of the deep ones is awesome. 1 to 100, 4-hit dice, 90% in layer, treasure type Z, chaotic evil, 2 attacks or by weapon. They're humanoid, amphibious fishmen, because God knows there are not enough of those in AD&D. Am I right? I mean, how many have we got? We got Sahuagin, Lokla, and now deep ones. Pick one, guys. Come on. Cold-blooded creatures of great strength. They can attack with their clawed webs, hands, or wield weapons. They have infravision as well as normal sight. They live near the land on ocean shelves and are able to travel the land at any time and for as long as they wish. They've been known to interact with evil humans and interbreed with them. This results in human-appearing offspring who undergo a gradual transformation after the age of 21 that causes them to become as the Deep Ones who spawned them. The Deep Ones are soulless and apparently immortal. These creatures promote evil in preparation of Cthulhu's return. They do this by collecting treasures from the sea and using them as funds to spread the cult of Cthulhu and the Old Ones. Oh, yes. The Great Race. Eight hit dice, 95% in layer, no treasure, unless you consider the human brains they occasionally steal. Now, here, the Yithians are lawful neutral, and they're the only beings in this section of the book that are lawful anything. No, I take that back. The elder things are lawful evil. But still, they came up in the shadow out of time. What they do, and Jim doesn't really go into this here, but what they do is they have the ability to predict future events. The conical bodies that we see in this drawing by the Errol did, which is perfect, by the way. That is an absolutely perfect representation. Their conical bodies are not their actual bodies. The Yithians have constantly been mentally projecting themselves forward and swapping their psyches with other races. So what happens is sometimes a particularly intelligent or insightful human in the 20th century will fall into a catalepsy, wake up, seem normal, but behave in really bizarre manners, fall into strange habits, pick up strange research topics that they will study extensively, build weird devices that they will never explain the function of. And they'll do this over the course of a few years. And then eventually, they'll fall into catalepsy again, wake up and have no memory of anything except some vaguely disturbing nightmares. What has happened is the Yithians have captured that person's intellect and projected the intellect of one of their own. And in bringing that mind back to inhabit the body of a Yithian, learn what they can from us. They know that the Earth of 600 million years past, that their race is doomed to be destroyed by a sudden elder thing, probably Cthulhu. So they're prepping for that. They will project their brains billions of years into the future into the bodies of giant beetles, which are the only intelligent life left on Earth, or the only life left on Earth. That's their plan. In the meantime, they're just gathering data. But they travel time so much that it's not really a thing for them. But they don't actively hate humans. They're not like, haha, we're going to dissect you, or, we're going to come to your time and inflict horror on you. Quite the opposite. It's a knowledge exchange. But they know from experience that that degree of knowledge being impinged on the human mind is really bad for it. It's really unhealthy for it. So they will project their consciousness into an Earth, to a present day human mind. But when they send that person's consciousness back forward, they erase all memories of the experience. So it's not really an exchange, because usually before they get called back, all the accomplishments that they've done, they will hide so that only their agents can find them. But they're not evil. They just kind of view people as a convenience, but not, they don't like seek out to hurt them or anything like that. The only time that they won't do the swap is if the body is dying. If the body that they project the consciousness from and swap a consciousness to, if that body in their time is dying from some malady, you don't get switched back. They view their minds as being more important than anybody else's. So that Yithian will remain in that body, and then at the appropriate time project themselves forward to the beetle beings. Why they don't just all go at the same time, I don't know. But there is your great race. Oh, without a doubt, Errol Otis was the perfect match. So we are not going to get through all of the Lovecraftian lore tonight, but that's okay, because we're going to have fun with it. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've got about 15 minutes, and I'm going to go through Hastur. We're going to go through Hastur. If you ever wondered what happened to the Keep on the Borderlands, right there, folks. That's a Keep on the Borderlands. So this is Hastur the Unspeakable. Chaotic evil. His symbol is an image of the god. I don't know where Jim got this description of Hastur. This god has a long, scaled, elongated body, a lizard's head and maw, and talon lizard's claw, 200 tentacles projecting from its body that give it the ability to sense all things around it. It's able to strike twice per round and also attack magically. Now, it's not this mile-high lizard man. It's a good drawing, but that's not really, I mean, if you dig into the, it doesn't. So anyway, at will, it can teleport anywhere in the prime material plane. Haster regenerates 5 hit points per melee round. It can summon 2 to 20 Baya Ki to aid it in battle. It cannot be magically controlled. Creatures that are able to fly naturally will never attack Haster, even if controlled. Any being trying to attack the god must make a saving throw against fear. Haster is half-brother to Cthulhu, and like him, Haster has been imprisoned by the star-shaped elder sign. He lies in a crypt at the bottom of Lake Hali near the alien city of Carcosa. Haster exists partly on the prime material plane, and this part is imprisoned in the crypt, and partially on the elemental plane of air. Thus, he is immune to cold and the vacuum of space. He is never more than partially on the prime material plane, and is therefore not completely solid. This accounts for much of his great size. Anytime the name Haster is spoken, there's a 25% chance that he'll appear, and some 1 to 4 Baya Ki to slay the speaker. If the Baya Ki are destroyed, there's a 25% Haster will appear to destroy the blasphemer. Your connection stalled when I said we're going to look at Haster. Stall. The wise will log out of this and come back in a couple of minutes anyway. So, Ithaquah is next. We've got more Cthulhu deities to look at. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope I'm bringing you the good stuff. I hope I'm bringing you the fun with my reading of the Cthulhu mythos. So in about 10 minutes, we're going to have our Let's Players jumping in to Let's Play some classic first edition AD&D. And that's going to be fun. What's going on there? Oh. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. And in the meantime, I want to take a hot minute here. Now we have some new folks in, waving to say hi. We have some stuff here. Is it safe? Is the world still there? Yeah. Because I want to take a minute here. Now, if you're new to the channel, and a lot of you might be, welcome, first of all. But if you're new to the channel, you've seen the little banner crawl down here. There's some folks who choose to support the show through Patreon, through Subscribestar, through PayPal Direct, or you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/bsylvie. For those who do, for those who have, I want to say special thank you to them and say thank you to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob, Jeremy Rule, Boganora, Mikey Mank, The Sky Hernstrom. Read some great sword and sorcery pulp fiction. Read that. Pete Sullivan, the DM's Council, and Baron Von Headbanger, who I know is in the audience tonight. So thank you very much for your continued support to those people. We appreciate it. It helps literally keep the lights on around here. And I'm going to need all that help I can get. So, ye old main front seal on the Saturn died completely today. Pouring oil into my car engine is effectively like pouring it out on the ground. because that's expensive. Well, anyway, I'm still here. So yeah, here we are in just a few minutes. In about 10 minutes, we're going to get started. Well, no, it's closer to 5 minutes. We're going to get started, and we're going to play some first edition AD&D. Now, I will tell you, those of you folks who are here, I regard this as a learning experience. So if you have questions, like for example, if our new buddy Pan Souza, if you have any questions about the functioning of first edition AD&D, please, by all means, ask a question over in chat and we'll answer it. If you're looking at something going down and you're like, hey, how does that work? Ask a question in chat and we can explain what's going on screen. Now, one thing I do want to mention is we do not do a virtual tabletop. Sometimes we do a camera top. I've got Dwarven Forge. As I was saying at the beginning of the program, it's a mess over there because I'm working on 3D prints for the folks who've ordered 3D prints. And new 3D print sets will be available. We will be starting those on Thursday. And as always, looking for 10 sales. But I think you guys will like these because they're actually 3 miniature sets. So you got 3 different kinds of bugbear sets. Owl bear. Bugbears are coming down the road, but owl bears are what's next. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're waiting. Anybody in the interim, in the few minutes we've got, does anybody have any questions for me? We got kind of an open minute. I can work the crowd. Other than Bill, how much blood plasma do you think you're going to have to sell in the next couple of weeks? Yeah, I want to see Damien back too. I pinged him, but I've gotten no response. We'll have to see. When's he going to get more spells? I remember when he's just door-to-door salesman for Grit, Greyhawk's best newspaper. I love it. Grit, you got to love it, right? So we're just a few minutes out before everybody joins the stream. You see, the folks are joining in the green room now. The Bayaki got him, or the big guy. Diced his ass. Well, let's see. I said Haster a bunch. Haster. 91, safe. 23, uh-oh. I do raid recovery? No. No, I'm talking about a part of my car. Any spells I don't include in my campaign? That's a fine question. I seem to recall Stone Skin being borked. Stone Skin can be problematic. I'm not crazy about cantrips. I mean, cantrips in general. I'm not crazy about them just because of the degree of abuse. Do I allow locate plant banished? Yes, we've had many discussions about locate plant on this show. So Unearthed Arcana is almost on a case by basis. Wow, that is a tall that is a big order for us to get through the drive-through window, Pan Souza. I found it confusing how movement is handled. This is something that I want you to come to the Discord. Was that you in the Discord? Are you, let me see, are you, Are you Matthias over in the Discord? Because if that's you, then I will talk to you, because that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. When looking for traps or escaping, can I give you some advice? Yes, I will. I will gladly give you some advice, but it's bigger. Okay, cool. We will hit you up, because you're like almost on the same time zone as you're just like an hour behind me, aren't you? Or ahead of me? You're not like, it's not like some insane hour in the morning of night where you're at, or night where you're at. So yeah, just keep an eye on the Discord. And honestly, anytime between now and, or not now, I mean, anytime during the day, but like before 1 in the morning and after 9 in the morning, you can get me on the Discord. How does initiative work? I roll a d6, you roll a d6, I then take the d6 and I bounce it off the side of your head. You know better than that. So 20, okay, yeah. So you and I are on kind of the same time zone there. Volcano God. By the way, Volcano God is my buddy I was telling you about, Pansuza, who saw the 1E AD&D books in Chile. Him. But anyway, so we are just waiting on Doomsword to join the group. Well, we're waiting on 2 players, but I haven't seen the other player come back in. So I'm gonna, let's see. Oh, there he is. I just literally speak of the devil, and he'll soon appear. Alrighty. So let's see here. Let me don my headphones, my lovely, lovely AKG headphones that I like quite a bit. I could get like little like Raycons or something like that, but honestly, although I don't like that, that's something I don't like about them, is the strap tends to get twisted sometimes. I'm gonna have to fix that later. I will fix it later. So, without further ado, let us welcome Mark as Ebner, TK as our outlier, and Doomsword Deathmaster as Turgo. Bomb. Welcome, one and all. Good to see you, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Hello.
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. I could, but who'd listen? Alrighty, so last week, you guys concluded on a rather unusual encounter. A morning bather strolled through your encampment, asked his way to the nearest pond or stream or something like that was not stagnant. You indicated to him where to go, continued your spirited debate about employment opportunities in your group, and then observed that he flew away. Literally flew away. So now we're here. What do you lads wish to do?
How is Abner feeling? Are you done with your bout of dysentery?
I think I might still be not feeling well.
No, he's not.
All right, let's take him back to the town then.
Yeah, we have to go back to Greyhook.
Take him down to Greyhawk City because he needs a cleric. His intestines are not well.
Shitty.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. You did.
Hey,
immediate demonetization.
Just blame it on me. Go for it.
Alrighty. So, and that is what can happen. Disease. All right. So, Anybody doing anything in particular as you travel?
I'll make sure everyone's wounds are healed as best I can.
Okay. Are you leaving that day, or are you going to wait another night and then depart?
No, we'll leave that day.
Okay. Alrighty. Fair enough. Okay, well, there are no encounters of note as you make it to the Last Chance Inn, about a third of the way from the ruins of Castle Greyhawk to the city of Greyhawk. Are you stopping or pressing on?
Abner, you call the shots.
We might as well stop at the inn.
All right.
Alrighty. The innkeeper welcomes you with a warm smile. Says, "Hello, boys. It's good to see you all. How is everyone?"
Abner is pale, a little sweaty. He goes off to a room immediately.
Aha. Okay. So, she's says, "How about you lads? How are you? How are your men at arms?"
Probably
Fine
glad
on
that
this
we're.
end.
Oh God! What was that, Doomsword?
Fine on this end.
Of course. Well, I have some delicious venison. Would you like me to take a plate up to your friend Abner?
Do you have the broth from said venison? He might only stomach that.
Oh, of course. For you all, just an electrum for a nice steaming mug.
That's fine.
I have some good white bread. Just baked it yesterday.
Sure.
All right.
Perusing around, I guess. Do I see anyone or notice anything?
There are some folk here at the tavern. They are killer frogs. No, I read that dice roll backwards. They are yes, there's a group of merchants here.
Cool. I guess I'll chat with them for a bit, see if there's anything new, ask them if they saw an ogre by the name of Jim waltz by.
One of the, let's see. One of the merchants says, "Well, my good dwarf, on such occasions as we have encountered ogres, I can tell you most assuredly, we do not pause to ask their names. We are usually fleeing in terror or circling our wagons. But no, we have seen no such unsavory beings. At this time, we are late from the city of Greyhawk on our way to Verbobank and points westward."
Okay.
Should have got him a name tag.
And
I
they
didn't have the chance.
Like, my name is Jim.
I didn't have the chance.
all right, so they chat you up a bit, ask where you're from, in the most polite way possible, ask if you're sell swords.
I mean, I'm interested in anything they're offering. What are they? I mean, if they want us to guard them on their long trek, I'm afraid I can't do that. But if they have something else in the local area, we might be able to help.
No, they're pretty much, they're actually not looking for employees. He's just making nice with you. I mean, his reaction roll when you spoke to him was really, really high, and you already have a really, really high charisma, even for a dwarf. And he's just as friendly as can be.
Well, that's he can buy me dinner then.
His
Me.
we'll share a platter.
That's fine. Yeah.
Sliced meats and cheeses, charcuterie.
Yep.
He'll share split an appetizer with you. Basically, is what he does. So, they make friendly. Doomsword, is Turgo doing anything? Casing the joint, picking any pockets?
No, just keeping an eye out as I would normally do. Nothing
Already.
special. Being a suspicious individual myself, I expect such suspicion from others.
Round the fire, you guys notice this because it's not exceptionally crowded. This is not a huge merchant caravan. This is not like a moving shopping mall or anything. But around the fire, you can hear over the general din. There's a bard, lowercase b, more of a minstrel, plucking away on a lute, with a big pewter mug in his hand. There's your henchman, and he's pointing at each of you and then gesticulating and then pantomiming like sword blows and that sort of thing. And you catch the word troglodytes and dungeon ruins and caves periodically. He is apparently singing your praises to those who'll listen.
Name's Turgo, just in case you weren't aware. And that'd be me.
Yeah, they all turn around. Oh, yeah, it's him. And he continues on with his tale and makes a great accounting of all of your puissant skill at arms. Even Abner, you're basically promoted from bottom feeding magic user with a couple of spells to flaming oil jar flinging siege machine.
I'll take that.
The men at arms are described as like a phalanx of nothing but steel teeth that just scythed through the enemy ranks, while you all decisively picked out the greatest and strongest of the troglodytes to slay in single-handed combat. He is extolling your virtues to these people, and they all seem fairly impressed with his story. There's actually light applause, and let's see. There's light applause and great appreciation. Well, that's you hear kind of a barrel torsoed gnomish fellow with a squeaky voice leans back and says to Abner, "Well done. That's one less horror in this world. Many less horrors in this world. Well done, my friend. Well done." So you're quite the popular heroes that night at the Last Chance Inn. And there are even people furiously writing things down as your man at arms relates them. So make of that what you will.
Well, at least there's some point to bringing Leo and Nerm along.
Yep. Oh, even the men at arms are getting a good accounting in this guy's tale.
And everybody in this place is clearly doing precisely what they should be doing.
Yeah, seems to be.
Well, I meant regaling us.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, as far as hailing you guys as the conquering heroes, a couple of the merchants sort of, you wouldn't happen to have recovered any truly exotic items in that strange and storied place, would you have?
I'm gonna hand him a G-string loincloth that I just happened to like pick off a dead body and be like, "It still smells of troglodyte. Here you go."
Yeah. He he doesn't take it, but he even he laughs at it. There's some raucous laughter, and they're like, "Ah, well played, good dwarf. Well played." And so it goes into the evening. Unless you guys have anything specific you want to do, eventually it dies down and the hirelings go to sleep in the barn or have already laid down under benches and so forth. And you all have your rooms you can go to and attend.
Can I refill my oil from the party funds?
Who keeps track of that now?
Well, it was it was Corion, but
Right. I mean, we've got the link somewhere.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay.
I've got it open.
Yeah.
And I will send you that in the Discord.
All right.
I'll just mark off the 5 gold.
Yeah. I guess I'll take over that that spreadsheet for the party treasure that's on the cart.
You good with that?
Yeah, I'll be good for now.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully we'll see Lord Corion again. But yeah, I mean, she has fine lamp oil, and it's the standard price.
It's 1 gold a pint, I think.
You are correct. It is. Actually, now I'm going to double check. Watch, I'll be wrong.
I was just looking at the DM screen and I didn't see it, and that's why I was like,
It is. It's not miscellaneous. Here we go. Oil flask of 1 gold piece. You are correct.
Where are the party funds, though? I don't see them on this sheet.
Do we not have any party funds?
Well, treasure and money. Okay.
Yeah, I as DM know that you guys still had a considerable chunk of cash to hand.
We now have 75.
I think when we left last, though, I think or not last, but last actually with Corion at the time that we had picked up that big pile of treasure, that we made a split, and put it on our character sheets.
Yeah.
Like I got like 4,200 gold on my sheet.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in the cart, but no longer a lot of money in the cart.
Yeah, I spent all of my allotted money on leveling, and that's why my character's perpetually broke. So.
Yep.
All right, that would make sense.
Yeah, but we have a little bit of cash on the card. I just noticed. So yeah, TK, just mark it off, and I'll between sessions I'll make sure it all tallies or something.
Yep.
And for me, I think as a matter of course, I'd like to make sure that Darwish has a room. He's got no business sleeping in the stables.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, Darwish he's a fully leveled fighter and warrior. So yes, he is to have a room.
Obviously, I keep an eye on said room because I don't need him being up to any sort of fishy business.
Right. A quick note, by the way, I just want to bring something to the attention of our audience. I had kind of only half tongue in cheek suggested last week that not just the players, but audience members could send me a recipe for your favorite dead rat porridge. I have a couple so far. Last week and into this weekend was super chaotic. I have not made them yet, but it's coming. And as I said, the winner gets a free 3D print. And it's not something I've offered before. It's not just like, oh, here's a beholder. No. So send me your favorite dead rat porridge. Don't include actual rat in it, please.
You know what's sad? I'd actually take a beholder because it's the one mini I don't have.
Oh, okay. Noted. Noted. Okay, so moving on, the evening passes uneventfully. The morning dawns clear and cool. It is early fall in Greyhawk, so it has started to chill somewhat. Everyone is refreshed and ready, and Abner, you're going to have to stop on the way home.
Okay. I'll sit on the edge of the cart. You just keep
Does
driving.
Abner shit in the woods?
Yep, no one
Right now,
no
he
one
goes
hears
wherever he
him.
needs to.
Nice.
So the rest of that day is uneventful, and the final day to Greyhawk itself. Arriving the next morning, there she sits. True to her namesake, damp gray stone walls peering out at you, the multitudes of pennants along its towers and cornices and so on, and the long line of traffic of folks waiting to get in. And then, of course, there's different entrances and gates that you can that you can all enter. You don't have to wait with the merchants and whatnot. You may go in, and the entry fee is, of course, standard.
That's what. Once.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it is 10 silver apiece.
Okay, so 1 gold, half gold,
A half a gold, yes.
half a gold. Okay, so there's what, 16 of us?
Mhm.
11. What? Wait, how many?
I've got. There's 4 of me, 2 of Turgo. That's 6.
Plus me.
Yep.
Plus 2 other followers.
Yep.
So that's 9.
Yep.
And then Jeff.
Yeah.
10. Okay, so then that's 5 gold. All right, so that's 5 gold from the party sheet.
Sounds good.
All right, I marked that.
And you are back in the city of Hawks.
Sir Outlier,
Hmm.
you know the temples of the area. I need healing of a disease. Where should I go? What would be the best god or goddess for me to apply to?
DM, can I send him to that same that same hospice I sent all the orphans, etc. to?
Altroa, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember the name because I was looking at my notes yesterday, not because I actually remember that crap.
Good for you, because I didn't. Oh.
And to be true, it's not a hospice. You didn't send the orphans there to die.
Well,
perhaps you meant hostel.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what you think. That's what you think.
But I feel okay. Sure you do, Timmy.
I'm getting better.
They will all die eventually, so.
Yeah, it's a very slow moving hospice.
Remember, when it comes to Medicare, you get what you pay for. If you pay nothing,
it's the same one we all live in this reality. Okay, so yes, the temple they it's a bit of a wait. You know, there are folks paying to the best of their means, and there are a lot of folks who are like, you know, oh no, I think I have the palsy. And, you know, the acolytes are like, no, it just brings them like a bowl of warm soapy water and, you know, washes the paint spatter off the back of his hands. That'll be a copper piece, you know. But you have an actual disease. You have an upset tummy that is not going away. They take a look at the rat bite, take a look at you, and say, now, we're going to temporarily place you in an oubliette with a 1-inch slot at the bottom of it so we can slide a special diet of pancakes and pizza under. It won't cure you. That's just all we want. That's as close as we want to get to you. All kidding aside, a cure disease spell from these clerics is a donation of 1,000 gold.
Oof.
Good luck.
You got that?
I don't.
Yeah, I meant Abner. What's he running around with?
Yeah.
Mark's frozen. Literally.
Wow, I thought he was just
Literally.
sitting still.
There he is.
He died.
Oh no, he's gone now.
Yeah, I was like, man, he's sitting really still. Is he muted?
There you go. You're back.
My internet went piff.
Right when I said it's 1,000 gold, you were like,
Nope.
It's like I am gone.
It's 1,000 gold.
yes.
Then Abner will write them a check, I guess. How does that work with the Bank of Greyhawk?
One thought, Abner.
What?
We do have an alchemist in our employ. Would it be cheaper to have the alchemist do it?
At the moment, Sir Outlier, I have no belief in that alchemist, and I'd rather pay this right now.
That's fair.
However, if that alchemist could produce an anti-disease salve, it would be useful because we keep running into vermin.
From somewhere across the city, you just hear this voice call out, "Screw you!"
I mean,
The alchemist with very good ears, it seems.
that is why we pay him, after all.
Well, do we pay him?
Yes.
We'll get to that in a second.
Paying him 300 gold a month.
We already paid him.
What's Abner's money like? Does that 1,000 hurt him, or
Of course.
I mean, I'll chip in. You know,
No, Abner will pay for this. He may
Alright.
need help eventually for costs at the schooling. So
sure.
I guess he writes a check. How does that work? Or he has to go to the bank and come back with the funds. But
You have to go to the bank and come back with the funds.
okay, then Abner does so. 1,000.
This temple, like all the great temples of Greyhawk, believes firmly in God we trust.
Yes,
All
all
others
others
pay
pay
cash.
Yes. Yeah. So
How do we hire a cleric henchman?
yeah, that's actually good. Abner will pay them the money and also donate to them 100 extra gold pieces.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, you get the best care they can afford. You're laid out to Alakazam, untie his guts from these terrible knots. Poof. And
So Disney
Sure.
writes all the spells these days? Is that
Pretty much. I mean, would you rather
there is a growing theme / amusement park here in this town, I should point out.
They could have just like sent him to Crystal and cleared him out real quick.
Okay, so you the slight fever, the cramps, everything just, so you are feeling much better, much better.
So the important question for me is, do I get back my point of strength and my point of con?
Yes, you do.
Of course, right after I rewrote my character sheet, now I have to write again. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I can help you out and just leave them gone if you want.
No, but that means I get 10 more hit points back magically. 5
Yes.
more. I should say 5 more.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
There's 1,000 gold piece copay on it, Vince.
Yeah.
It's asking, does your insurance handle this? 1,000 gold piece copay.
Yeah.
Okay, you have removed disease from your person, courtesy of the temple faithful there. What is your next plan, adventurers?
The irony is, if I had actually leveled again, I could have cast that spell.
Well, you'll be able to in the future.
I just don't think we have the, 10 grand or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, cleric more, and then you'll get to the next level. But before leaving, I'm not sure what else there is in town, but Abner is merely interested in doing a little shopping because he used so much oil and torches.
All right.
He has to restock. He has to restock the henchman flamethrowers, the hireling flamethrowers.
Cue the Cyndi Lauper girls just want to have fun shopping montage music.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
not getting anything strange. It'll just be standard price.
Okay, yeah. That's so. How many torches? How much oil?
I need to figure that out, but it's going to be maybe a dozen of each or something.
Yeah, so that's 12 copper and 12 gold.
Yeah, that's
For
what I
the
thought.
for the record, by the way, if we can scrape up basically 800 experience points, because I divide by 2.
Yeah.
Like for me, I could actually level again and hit 5th level cleric.
Sweet.
I would just need the funds with which to pay for
Yeah.
my 5th level fighter and 5th level cleric, which is the painful
Definitely.
part.
So one
Definitely
thing that I
understood.
am going to do on the fly right now is you guys slew 38. Was it
40 something.
48.
No, it was 40 some odd. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 48 down. I think.
yeah, it was 48.
48. So let's take a look in the Dungeon Master's Guide then, because they were all of average hits. That stink that they do is quite the bonus on their XP. So let us take a look in the Dungeon Master's Guide and find out then what 48 troglodytes divided over 9 of you guys, 10 of you guys, is worth in experience points. Because everybody was in there swinging and fighting.
Yep, everyone except Jeff.
Right.
So 9.
Right.
So 9. Right. All right.
Nope, sorry, not 9, 7. Because we leave 2 followers at home with Jeff.
Yeah.
Good point.
Everybody was Trogo fighting.
My hireling valet is not part of the battle, so don't count him. So 7 is correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see. So let's have a quick gander. Now, for if you're just getting into AD&D, this is a exceptionally useful chart. Use the chart. Don't try and calculate these things yourself. But it is on page, I believe it starts on page 195 or so of the Dungeon Master's Guide, and it is the alphabetical monster listing. And we go to troglodytes, and you fought. All right, so let's see here. They are 2-hit dice monsters, so call that 8 hit points each. So 8 times 8. And you guys did not receive any treasure from them of note.
Nope, just a whole bunch of tchotchkes and,
Yeah.
lizard man thongs.
I was thinking back and I was trying to remember if we fought anything else. Didn't we take out like a couple dozen rats or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
There are the giant rats. So we'll deal with those here in just a second. So troglodyte.
Also, those ogres are the ogres we defeated are part of this adventure.
Yeah.
I don't think we got our XP for those
Nope.
ogres yet.
Nope. And
So
good
that was
news.
like 2.
Good
ogres?
news. Jim left his gold behind, like his treasure behind.
Cool.
I think DM didn't say he took it with him, so.
I did not. We will get to that. Let's see. Jim was just happy to be alive at that point.
I'll miss Jim.
All right.
I do too, honestly.
I liked him. Oh well.
All right. So, and rats, giant. And there were 24 of those in total because you guys encountered 2 groups and dispatched them.
Yep.
All right. So, and finally, Jimbo's treasure. Let's see. Let's look under. I once had a DM who was very generous about XP. If you encountered something, it didn't. He took the whole, overcoming a monster doesn't necessarily mean killing it. So, like, if you saw a dragon a mile away, you got experience for that.
I won't go that far as a DM, but one of my players did ask me. I had them run into like 2 hill giants, and they were and they bargained with them so that they wouldn't get smashed in the pulp because they were all level 1. And they were like, "Hey, do we get XP for that?" And I went, "In this instance, no, because they're hill giants. But normally, I'm willing to give them at least partial XP. I should have given them. I gave them like a 50 XP bonus or whatever for it. But yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Treasure type for them, for individuals, is that times 10. And we'll just have a quick gander because the other ones didn't need it. All right. All right, so you got 130 gold pieces. Was Jim's loot there?
Cool. I will take that. No offense to the party.
Take it.
Yep, none taken.
Divide that by, and there's a total of 9 of you. Yes, just making sure.
The 130 gold?
No. The number of you who fought, is it 9 or is it 7?
7.
7.
All right. For each of you, and this is not counting division over multiple classes. This is not counting a 10% bonus. It is 351 experience points.
Divide by 2, I get 240. Cool. $87. I'm at 1287.1.
All right. I have noted on Darwish's character sheet what his experience points are.
DM.
Yes.
Now that I have note of money on my sheet, can I look into hiring or actually just buying a dog?
Yes, you can. Let's see. Let's look in the player's handbook. That counts as livestock.
And can I buy armor for as in barding for the dog?
All right. Dog guard is 25 gold pieces, and I will say that depending on how long you wish to take, you can absolutely get someone to hew down a leather jack for him that will basically function as leather armor. Looking in the monster manual, and I will give you some stats.
Appreciated. And I'm naming the dog Jim.
Oh, okay. But what if you guys encounter Jim in the wilderness? He might think he's supplanted.
Well, that's his problem.
Abner just figures whoever Outlier hires is named Jim.
Named Jim. Now
it's the name of the position. This is my Jim.
Now you're getting it. It's like you named the horse Roach. How many roaches have you had? 4.
Well, I guess I'll have to have 4 Darweshes then. Sorry about you, Darwesh.
Yep.
Okay, so Doggo has 10 hit points. More than the men-at-arms, absolutely. He has a 1+3 hit dice because he's a guard dog, but he's not a war dog per se.
Yeah, I don't war dog, but
he does do 1 to 6 on an attack.
Yep. Bite.
Yes.
Does he have trip?
He does not. He just has a good solid bite. His armor class now is a total of 6.
Nice. That's with the barding, right?
That is with the barding, correct.
Well, what's the price on that barding DM?
We're just going to treat it as leather armor. So I think that's leather. Yeah, that's a whopping 5 gold pieces.
That's fine. All right. And
it is well made, but it is essentially just a cut down leather jack.
Yeah. Is there anything I need to as special as far as feeding goes, or will giving him our dead giant rats, etc., suffice?
For good doggy digestive health, the trainer recommends meat powder or beef bones, elk bone, that sort of thing.
Cool. Any ideas cost there? Silver a day keeps the doctor away, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at let's see, provisions, we treat that as a week's worth of food for him is going to run a gold piece. So
that works. Cool. So, well, he can drag his own food behind him on a sledge, which I will fashion out of a few branches, etc. I am a carpenter. If it works for the Native Americans, it works for him. And
sure.
And he can carry a couple weeks worth of rations for himself.
Right on. Okay, so while you're doing that, because that's a piece of the day, and no longer feeling like the things that make your insides are going to come to your outsides. That takes up a good portion of the day for Abner, and that leaves Turgo to stroll around the city of Greyhawk. What is Turgo getting up to?
So I'd like to visit the general store, provision or whatever, and pick up a couple of flasks of oil. A
gold apiece. A gold apiece.
All right, and I've got a question.
Okay.
What's the likelihood that I could pick up like a 10-foot pole that's collapsible, like in the nature of like shower curtain technology? You know what I mean?
The old collapsible 10-foot pole. Some DMs, I tell you what, some DMs just has them tearing their hair out. You can never do that. That's too high tech. Yada yada yada.
I was wondering what you would say.
It is an iron collar with threads on the inside and a threaded dowel.
Thank you.
It takes you. It takes your round to collapse it or put it together, and it sections into 2 5-foot pieces. So it's like carrying a short spear, and that's it. You can strap it to your back.
All right, sweet. I would like to do that.
So dungeon masters out there, you're fretting over characters wanting high-tech equipment. Just come on. The basic screw is literally almost, back me up here, TK. The basic screw, it's almost as old as the wheel.
You want to hear something funny?
Lay it on me.
I own mop handles which go in 2-foot sections that do the same thing, and except for it's wooden threads on wooden screw, right? Mm-hmm. And so all you literally need to make them is a drill bit, because it cuts the threads, and then you just back the bit back out, and that's it. It's, yes, will it wear out eventually? Sure. Does it take a while to get together? Sure. Will they stick? Absolutely. You can fix that with chalk.
Yep. So it's yeah. I'm not a DM.
Yeah.
Good.
No, absolutely. If you consider D&D to be 15th century, okay, which I do, which if you have plate mail and great swords, guess what? It's 15th century, right? That also means that the screw had been around for over 500 years conservatively, and actually more like almost 2,000 years. But whatever.
I mean, Fafhrd and Grey Mouser had a climbing jig that was spring-loaded steel, collapsible and had screw-in rivets on either end so they could literally fix it in a crevice and sit on it. If
Okay,
Fritz
so next
Leiber,
question.
no,
I can give you a climbing jig with literally a single length of rope that will never slip.
Anyway, what was your question, Doomsword?
I was going to say,
jig.
how much does that cost? But how much, in seriousness, how much for the collapsible 2-part tempo?
3 copper instead of 1.
Oh, okay. I'll toss that guy a gold. He's obviously a manufacturer of great repute.
Okay. Alrighty. He thanks you for your business.
I give him a special sign.
He does. Are you saying you like a thieves' cant kind of thing?
This.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. And so it was that Doomsword accidentally got pulled into a Thursden cult. No.
Oh no.
No, he's pleased that you're pleased with his work, and he's like, I just thinking to himself as you walk away, I sell a half dozen of these things in a week. I could literally take the month off at this point. You did basically the equivalent of going into Lowe's and buying a hammer and leaving a $100 bill on the counter for it.
Yeah, well, I might be able to use him for something a little more complex later on.
That's true. That's true. All right. So, in the city, while you're off doing that, and you are, it's going to take a portion of a day to get to know the dog. I mean, it's friendly, there's no hilarity ensuing because it hates you or anything like that, but it's got to get used to you. You've got to learn each other's attitudes. It's got to get familiar with your scent and everything, but it is a fairly painless process.
I have to reteach it all of its commands to be in Dwarvish, that kind of thing.
Barak Kazad Aiminu brings you a sausage. So close. So close.
Yeah.
You're almost there, buddy. You're almost there.
Yeah.
Let's see. And they are
a
simple.
dog that fetched sausages would sound great, actually. That sounds useful.
Anybody remember that beer commercial with the guy with a golden retriever? Like it would go in the kitchen and you could hear it opening a beer.
Yep.
And then pouring the beer.
Yeah. I read a rather amusing story about there are failures in assistance animal training. They lack the stick to it in their little brains, and they let them just go be dogs and adopt them out and everything. And there was a lady who adopted a I can't remember if it was a lab or a collie. I'm almost certain it was a collie that was a helper failure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to help someone who was mobility disabled, and the dog would walk around the house and just randomly turn lights on and off. And someone in the comments said, "Chaotic good ranger." I think this light should be on. Click. All right. So go ahead.
Abner's basically lying low because I'm sure his robes need to be laundered while he's resting.
Yes. Then we will throw this over onto good, because TK, you are in one place and you're dealing with an animal handler, but it's actually Turgo who's roaming around doing shopping with the shopping montage. As you're walking down the street, you're like, should I put a little grease on here? Should I not? Literally clearing the sidewalk as they move along. There is a, well, let me see. I don't know if they're clearing the sidewalk. No, not clearing the sidewalk. This is out in the street. There is a sedan chair being carried along by a couple of servants, and they're obviously men at arms. You catch sight of an older but still somewhat comely woman within. She does not regard you as she walks by. They're keeping up with the chair are obviously a couple of bodyguards, and they're looking out, kind of, keeping their eyes on everyone as they go by. Do you wish to interact with or anything like that?
Well, I'll bow to the passenger. And
okay.
My best bow, being that I'm not a nobleman and such. And then, depending on what happens, I'll just go ahead and trail the thing for a while.
Okay. Let's see. Are you literally just doing a 180 and following it up the street, or what?
Yeah. Well, what I'd like to do is less of a 180, more of a turn to the left behind it, creep up against the wall. Try not to look too suspicious to anybody who might see me, and just kind of creep along like a private eye.
Okay. It takes a turn down a fairly busy thoroughfare. You're a little bit behind it. And do you continue to follow it after it makes the turn?
Yeah, I'd like to do that. And I'd like to take note of any symbols or flags or anything like that flying off of it.
Okay. It did not bear any kind of standard on it. However, when you step around the corner to continue to follow it, one of the obvious bodyguards is standing there right around the corner with his arms crossed, staring at you.
Oh, good sir. I believe I made a wrong turn at Outback Avenue or something.
Perhaps so. Outback Avenue is in that direction, and he points back the way you came.
Oh, well, you're obviously a capable guard, and I appreciate you protecting whoever it was that you're in charge of protecting. Perhaps one day, should I need such protection, may I get a name?
My name is Adam.
Adam. Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Adam. My name is Turgo.
Mm.
My reputation precedes me.
Well, why don't you proceed back the way you came, Turgo?
Well, I think precede is what I meant. I think you mean proceed. But yeah, maybe I should take off now. Nice to meet you. Where were you going? Was there some sort of parade or something, though?
He does not respond. He just watches you for a minute as you're fading and then turns and walks back in the other direction.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
Yeah. Sorry, I treated it as a standard hide in shadows, just hide in crowd, and it blew really wide. He was like, hang on a second. you guys keep going. I gotta just met you around the corner there.
Yeah. Well, I'll take note, of course, of the intersection that they were at. Should anything happen in the future that warrants that knowledge.
Right on. No, Tonka, it wasn't Black Adam. It was not Shazam. Although, if I could arch my eye like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, perhaps, but not in this case. No. So Abner, you're just lying low in some common clothes while yours get cleaned.
I won't even show my face in the common room. I'll stay in my room.
Wow. Okay.
So I can put on the good robes.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure, yes, I've been healed by divine magic, and I'm all nice, but I'm probably still not feeling good, right? So I'll lay low. Stuart can go clean my clothes, and when I'm ready, I'll be ready the next day.
You know how it is after you have a bad intestinal flu, but it's gone, but you're still like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Abner's doing, and his robes probably need to be cleaned.
Yeah.
So he's in his skivvies in his room.
Yeah. I mean, for this, they break out the cantrip clean,
Yeah.
soap, water, and the cantrip clean, and maybe take it to a priest to have it blessed.
Just
And
fireball it. Come back with new set of clothes.
yeah,
Well, you got a ring of fire already.
regardless, when you receive it back, there's a note folded up in it that says, please don't drape this over your horse again. Let's see. Let's have a quick gander here. So most of the day passes, and you now, Outlier, you have yourself a loyal to the core guard dog that understands Dwarven named Jim.
Cool. By the way, in the future, if this dog bites me and any of you come after it, just to clarify as a party talk, I will personally kick your ass.
All right, and to be clear, if Darwish attacks me, you put that fool on the ground.
Nope.
That's fine. Just leave the dog to me.
I won't touch the dog, but
Abner's
I
the
ain't
rule
taking
is
hits from the fighter.
Abner's the rule is, hey, if they work for you, they do whatever they want. I'm not getting involved anymore.
So you wouldn't even kill Darwish for me? You wouldn't web him or something? Sleep?
I don't know.
I think
He seems like a nice guy. I have to
think-
decide which one of you I want.
Well, come on, I'm better.
I
Sometimes.
don't know, man. If Darwish can find more traps than you, he might be useful.
Yeah, but he'll find one. See,
We'll start
that's the
keeping.
problem.
We'll start keeping track and see
And
who.
he'll find one, and then that will be the end of his existence.
We'll see how you measure up.
I was about to say, how many have
Fair
I found?
enough. Now I'm gonna have to buy a dog to attack Darwish if Darwish attacks me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
And then you have to hire an ogre to attack the dog if the dog
Yeah.
attacks. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good friends with an ogre.
Poor Jim.
As a meta comment, that's all that Abner wants to do in town. If y'all are done,
Yeah.
we can unfortunately
I'm
have to go back, but yes, we'll go back and then see what
Yeah.
we can do in the castle.
Turgo, while you are heading back, wending your way back to meet your friends, just sort of sitting in a doorway on just a side street there in Greyhawk, there's let me see here. I'm gonna there's two fellows just kind of relaxing in the door. It's sort of a quiet sort of street. One of them sees you coming and says, hey, come here for a minute. I want to talk to you.
How about a dog?
How about
I'm
you
sorry?
come here for a minute? Maybe I'll
All right.
talk to you.
All right. The fellow strolls over and says, you looking for a fight?
Well, it
Hey,
depends.
before you say anything, I got 7 gold pieces. Says I can take you bare knuckle.
You.
Me?
You mean, yeah. You mean, do I want to fight you?
Yeah. Do you want to fight me?
Bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Come
No
on.
blades. Come on.
Well,
We won't.
I wouldn't suggest blades necessarily, but I mean, look at me.
Look, there's a dry alley right over there.
Yeah, but
There's-
I'm all of 5'7", 110 pounds soaking wet. I don't fight with
I've got 1 stone on you. Come on. You don't want to make a little extra gold? Come on. What's the matter? What, you
What's the
think
matter?
you're too vulnerable to fight me?
What? You trying to grease me here in this alley, man?
Hey, Tez, we don't
Tez
have to
who?
put up with shit. And there's
No, you don't, Tez. But let me tell you
Yep.
something, Tez. You will have to put up with the Thieves Guild. You want to go there, my man?
all right. He says, Hey, no trouble with the guild. My friend was just looking to see if, you were up for some fisticuffs.
I think your friends had a bit much to drink, and I expect an apology.
Well, you have my sincerest.
No, I want his. Tez.
Am I privy to any of this by chance?
I'm
curious.
Training the dog's really kind of taken all day. I tell you what, yeah, you can be in the proximity. You can be in the vicinity.
Turgo.
Yeah.
You turn around and there's.
You want me to knock his teeth in for you?
Hey, and the guy's holding his hand.
Half of mine.
Hey! This was just a bare knuckle bet.
Yeah, same. Bare knuckle bet. I can be his proxy.
Yeah. What do you think?
If this is what you think, and you think you can take him, I'll be his proxy.
Yeah, this guy's what? I'm 5'9". He's what? 4'7".
Yeah, 4'10", but thanks.
4'10". Hey,
It's the
I'm
boost.
short enough to the ground. Everything seems shorter to me.
All right.
Yeah,
well, listen.
I'll choose him as my champion. How about that?
That's fine. Hey, I'll look out and you look out while they fight because we don't want to get in any trouble with the guards. Town guards come, whistle, we'll split up, and we'll meet back again at the Dancing Werebear, and we'll square up on who won the fight. Fair enough?
What do you think?
Turgo, if they mug my, you know what? Yeah, I'm going out on a limb for you here, buddy. So let's do it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. What was the wager again, friend?
7 gold, just friendly.
Friendly. Well, that is a paltry excuse for a friendly gentleman's bet. How about 50?
They kind of look at each other like, believe in this guy. All right, 50.
Yeah,
50 it is.
I believe in this guy.
All right. Okay, so you step deep into the alley, and it is, as I said, it is a dry alley. There's a little bit of sand and gravel in there. It's perfect for this kind of thing. The windows that overlook it are way high up on walls, second and third story. So all right, and he he steps back, he takes off a leather shirt. He takes off his leather jack and his tunic, and you're like, are you going to take that sweater off? Because the guy is hairy.
I don't wear my armor in town.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll strip off my shirt. I'm leaving the gloves on.
Fair enough.
I'm ready to kill the other one.
I don't need a weapon to kill this guy by accident.
Okay. Now, some of you out there in the audience might be saying, oh boy, Bill's going to get out the unarmed combat rules. No, I'm not, because we're only playing till 11 o'clock.
That's a mood.
The unarmed combat rules for AD&D can be fun and interesting, but we don't want to leave poor Mark sitting there picking his toes for the next hour. So we're going to keep this simple.
I'll get some popcorn. I'll be right back.
We'll
treat this as what, AC 11 plus Dex then?
AC 10 plus Dex, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good news. I have an AC of 8 then, so.
Now, we're going to roll initiative, but we're going to modify it a little bit. Unless the initiatives are egregiously far apart, like I roll a 1 and you roll a 6.
No, I have an AC of 7. Awesome.
combat is going to be effectively simultaneous.
Cool.
So
I want to, I want to make sure I keep an eye on the other guy and
That's
make sure
fine.
that he stays out of the fray. He gets in there. I'm going to.
He's not. He's only like half looking back in the direction. He is looking up the street to keep an eye out. He kind of
watching out for the guards.
Let me see. He glances over at you and says, "Hey, eyes out, genius. I don't want to go to jail for this."
I can do one better. I can make it so they'll never hear us. How does that sound?
You gonna roll for roll for
I'm offering. I'm just offering. I'm like, hey, do you want us to be not heard? Like, I can make it to where we will not be heard.
All right, but spells are off limits for the fight.
Absolutely, word of honor. And I'm going to hand my holy symbol over to Turgo, so I can't cast anything other than that.
Okay.
But I'll
I
cast.
recoil at it at first, but I suppose I'll take it.
All right.
That's fine. I'll cast a zone of silence.
Okay. Silence 15-foot radius. And the alley suddenly it's like sticking your head inside a barrel. It's just very deadened sound because now all the echo off the street has stopped almost completely.
Man, this guy's pretty brave. We're pretty cocky.
He's kind of bouncing around. He's like, Brad Pitt in Snatch there. He's like, all right, I ain't never fought no dwarf. Let's go. Roll initiative.
Gold dragon.
It's all silent too. So he's just like, I'm watching him like mime to himself. It's great. 4.
Okay, that is close enough to 6. Your attacks are simultaneous.
That works. 15 plus math hits, I presume.
18 will also hit you. So he does.
How much is unarmed?
D3? Yeah, unarmed is D3 plus any strength bonuses.
Well, that's going to be 7 to his face then.
Okay, yeah, you crack him good, and he staggers back. He looks really surprised. Like, he's sort of, looks at that and looks at you. He did tag you, so you do take 2 points of damage from him. Like, you were coming up as he was coming in with a fake right that turned into an elbow that catches you above your eye. Beeve, the first rule of Fight Club is nobody talks about Fight Club. That's the beautiful thing. He's cast silence 15-foot radius. Nobody can talk about Fight Club.
Literally.
Okay, that's the first round. Let's roll initiative again.
6.
He got a 4, so again, it's simultaneous. What'd you get?
That's 10 total 4th level fighter checking the charts right now. 10 total. So that would be AC 8.
He just dodges out of the way of that, and in scrambling misses you also. All right. And so Turgo, you're watching down the street. He's kind of looking over now that the silence is up. He's kind of paying a little bit more attention, but he's still keeping an eye in the opposite direction up the avenue. So
I'm keeping an eye out and on him as much as I can without him
noticing. Hey, Mark, I'm going to roll the attacks, but you roll initiative for this guy, please, just to give you something to do, okay?
Sure.
All right, so it's initiative time. Roll initiative for the opponent.
2.
4.
Okay, again, simultaneous.
Okay. 18 plus math hits.
That will hit.
8 damage.
Okay. Yeah, that do you drive it into a solar plexus, and he just like clutches over, staggers back. If you could have heard that, there would have been a whoosh of air leaving. Let me see if he tagged you. I gotta.
It's a 7 for me, so.
Then yes, he did. And he brings his fists down and slams them in the back of your head, Kirk Fu style, and you take 3 points of damage on the back of your noggin.
Okie dokie.
But he is like clearly staggering around, and he's hunched over and breathing very, very, very hard. Stumbles to the ground and then stands back up.
All right, ready with my next initiative roll.
All right, Mark.
6.
4.
It's a tie. He hits you. You take
15 plus math hits.
All right, 1 point of damage.
I do 7.
Okay. He crumples to the ground. He's kind of propped up on one elbow. He's trying to lever himself back up. And he's saying something. He's kind of chuckling, and he's looking at you, waving one hand. And you're not sure, but you think he's mouthing no, no, no. and doing this as he's pushing himself back up to his feet.
Can I willingly end the spell, DM?
Oh, absolutely, you can willingly end the spell.
Then I will end the spell.
Yeah, you catch it mid-phrase. No. It's them gauntlets, isn't it?
And I'm just going to shrug and be like, oh, I could have kicked your ass without them, but it would have taken, and I'm going to stand here and you watch him like literally do the math in his fingers because he only has like an average level of intelligence. It would have taken 2 more punches without him. Does that make you feel any better?
Not as good as this is going to make me feel. Taz! The hair on him starts to grow, and his ears get pointy, and his nose is starting to elongate. And the other fellow turns around, narrows his eyes, which are yellow reddish, at you, Turgo.
Mm-hmm.
And his mouth is widening backwards, and his gums are spreading, and you're now seeing elongate yellow teeth.
I will cast Hold Person.
Okay. So you're going to cast Hold Person. I know what both of them are going to do. What is Turgo doing?
So I'm certainly drawing sword and dagger.
Throw me my
I
great
assume
sword, please.
I had my hands on both. Do what?
Throw me my great sword, please.
Oh, your holy symbol?
No, my great sword.
Oh, I wasn't aware I was holding your great sword.
I wouldn't have carried my great sword around with fighting this guy. You can't exactly wear it on your hip. You have to shoulder it. It's the kind of thing I would have handed you. It's like, here's my holy symbol, here's my great sword, here's my shirt. You know, that kind of thing.
Right. So basically, I'll spend my round handing that shit back to. I mean, that stuff back to him.
It's fine.
Right.
Just draw your sword and yeet. It's fine. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I'll drop that stuff on the ground then and draw my long sword and dagger, assuming I can do that.
Vince Snedderson gets the comment of the hour. Werewolves of London is played in the background.
Oh, God.
Dave says he brought his fist to the lycanthrope fight. If you had said, I'm taking off my gauntlets, you wouldn't have had a magical weapon.
Yep.
And it would be, it's like punching a bag full of sand. You're not hurting him. All right. So I know what they're going to do. Sorry, Mark. I'm going to, you know what? No, Mark, you go ahead and roll for the side.
Sure. 6 again.
Okay.
Oh, God, Turgo, you're rolling.
Now you're rolling the on fire initiatives. What'd you roll? We'll go over to Doom Sword. Roll initiative, please.
I just didn't want the pressure.
All right, come on. 2.
Okay, both of them leap forward. So let's see. They are that, and I need up here to the table. Where is it? Knock, knock. Anyone? Knock, knock.
My fist.
All right.
There.
Ow.
Ow.
Ow. Werewolves of London. All right. Where is the table? There it is. Okay. So yes, the lycanthrope will attack you. And your total armor class right now, please, good dwarf.
7. I'm not wearing my armor.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Look. I gotta look because he is not. He does not have a weapon either. He did not. So he is ripping and tearing and does, according to the 40-year-old die that I'm rolling.
If I stab him with my silver holy symbol, will that do more than if I punch him in the face?
No.
I thought so.
It's not suited for that, but he does 5 points of damage to you. Just lunges forward and rends your chest. Doom Sword, this guy completely misses you.
Excellent.
Okay. So let's go ahead and counterattack, please.
I cast Hold Person 2 targets. They get a -1 on their saves.
He hit you, so that ruined your spell.
Oh, that's right.
So,
right. I suppose I'll attack with my longsword and my dagger, both magical. The longsword is. Hang on just a second. Let me get my little chart back up here. The longsword hits AC 10.
That is not sufficient.
No, I think they have AC 7.
Yeah. The dagger. Hits AC 7.
You snap your longsword down. Is your dagger magical?
Yeah.
Okay.
+2, +3 versus larger than man size.
And he is man size. So let me see.
How much money do you think these guys have on them?
I hope they have something.
Well, if they're making bets.
They're making bets they know they're going to win. They don't need to carry cash.
That's fair, but it means they may have screwed somebody over like this before, which means they may be carrying cash.
All right.
It's a good racket.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That I didn't know. All right. So yeah, you guys swing on and hit. And how much damage did you do? I'm sorry.
That would be 6. Max.
6. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. And Mark, go ahead and roll for the monster side.
2.
Party.
4.
Party goes first.
I'm just going to grab my greatsword and take this man's head off.
Okay.
That is a nat 20 to do so.
Is your greatsword enchanted?
My gauntlets are. I have excessive strength. If that matters.
In this case, it, well, I know there's a bit in the Dungeon Master's Guide, but I do not think that applies to characters. Creatures struck only by magic weapons. Let me see. Attacker must have the following. It says, okay. Defenders hit by +1 or better. Attacker must have the following +1 or better. Or Let's see. Yes, that does. So go ahead and roll your damage.
12.
Nice.
All right. Now you had only done the majority of damage subdual to him
Oh no, I didn't.
when you were punching him.
Oh, I never said subdual.
Oh,
He
all right.
didn't do subdual to me.
Okay.
I didn't pull any of those punches.
You hack him and he is down. Doomsword, go ahead and do your thing.
Well, if I kill some poor fool in a bet, that's not my fault.
You're muted, Doomsword.
Man, come on. That was a well, the long sword slashed across his left clavicle, missed as I bring my dagger up under his right rib cage.
Okay.
And yeah, that hits.
All right.
And that's 4 points of damage.
All right. Okay, so you are a good 20 feet away from them. Outlier, what are you doing? This guy is down. He is fully human now. He is down, and there is a pool of blood spreading underneath him. Fully human.
I'm going to cast Cure Light Wounds on myself. Do you want me to roll that, or do you want to?
In the heat of the battle, I'm going to roll that, and you get back 4 points.
That is fine.
Doomsword counterattacks against you. That will hit you, and you will take. There we go. That'll work. That is 4 points of damage to you. New round, initiative, and I know what they're going to do. So you're casting Cure Light Wounds in this round. Or you were casting Cure Light Wounds.
Less. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing now? You've healed yourself. It's the top of a new round.
Can I charge? Do I have enough distance?
Yes, you do. The alley, as I described, is open. It's open on the end facing the street, and there's no debris. It's kind of dawning on you that they set this up to be just so. Yeah. So yes, you can charge with a capital C.
Cool. Well, if you don't kill him, Turgo, I will.
All right. So roll your charge first, and then we'll roll initiative.
Well, it hits.
Okay.
And yeah, that's decent damage. 14 total.
Okay. He drops to the ground, breathing heavily, unconscious, but still alive.
Turgo, kill him.
Yeah, but he's not in human form.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna kill him.
Okay. Amazingly, you know what? I think we got to give it a better chance than that. Nope. Nobody seems to have noticed this. It's still far back enough in the alley that passersby didn't seem to see anything more than a little bit of commotion. So yeah, there are 2 dead humans lying at your feet, and your weapons are covered in blood. What do you guys wish to do?
Anything in their pockets?
Anything in their pockets? Let's see.
They ran this racket before.
That's well, maybe. Maybe.
I'm going to put my shirt, etc. back on so I at least look normal and wipe the blood off.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and call this.
Thanks for having faith in me, Turgo.
Of course.
That was it. Like, seriously, that was good.
Yeah, we work well together.
So let's see if they've got any coin on them. On their persons, like the guy that you killed who was fighting you,
Mhm.
I mean, he's just got breeks on, and obviously he didn't have any coin in that. You kind of you search their bodies quickly, and you actually don't find anything treasure wise.
Well, let's beat feet and have a fun story to tell when we get back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get out of here.
Yeah.
So this alley, it ended here. Was it like a little dead end alley that they dragged us into?
Blind alley, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick look. Assuming I didn't notice any secret doors due to innate ability, I'm gonna take a quick look for secret doors. You know, assuming such a thing exists.
Okay, a thorough search of the alley reveals nothing.
All right, we're out of here.
And one more quick check because, hey, as you are leaving the alley, see what that is.
Turgo, you were unfazed, correct? By the fight?
Yeah, I was hit for 4. Not a big deal.
I mean, well, worst comes to worst. If we are questioned, let's be honest and
That's
just show them our claw marks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Nothing to hide.
Yeah,
but I will pull out the name of Ravelar as an acquaintance should we need someone to vouch for us.
Yeah, there's a guy in kind of dark earth tones, greens, grays, that sort of thing. On a cloudy, gloomy day, if he was leaning against the corner of two buildings, you might mistake him for stone. Kind of glances in the alley, looks at you, Turgo, and says, "Trouble with the in-laws?" That is Thieves' Cant. He looks straight at the bodies and looks at you and says, "Trouble with the in-laws," which is essentially, "Are you in trouble?"
Not at the moment, no. It's been taken care of.
He says, "I don't know. They spilled tea everywhere. Big mess."
Indeed. I'm more interested in where the mess of treasure is.
So since Bill doesn't know a whole lot of 15th century Thieves' Cant,
neither do I.
I apologize to my audience. He is. Go ahead.
I was going to say, tell him we need a dinner reservation for 4.
He essentially, through Thieves' Cant, says, this isn't a problem that's going to entangle the guild, is it?
Yeah, and essentially through Thieves Guild, or Thieves' Cant, rather, I explained to him that these were lycanthropes. They tried to shake us down. My dwarf buddy stepped in. We handled it. We need to get the bodies out of here and clean up the mess, or just leave it. I don't care. I'll beat it, and I'll go back to where I'm from.
In this quarter, this can't stay. There were eyes on you, and this can't stay. It's unbecoming. It'll be taken care of, but this will come up again.
And I'm sure it will, and I'll say the same thing as I did before. I mean, with all due respect, rather, which of course means that I can say whatever the hell I please. These guys attacked me. They tried to shake me down. We didn't want to kill them, but they transformed. What are you going to do? I guess we could have just ran off and allowed lycanthropes to run through the streets amok.
Yeah.
Well, then perhaps the city guard would have dealt with them, I guess, eh?
Somewhere up the alley in the dark, you hear the grating of iron on stone. You think probably there's a grating being removed from within, and you're going to get this taken care of. And he says, basically scram.
Yeah, well, I'll get out of here. And
all right.
honestly, between you and I have no intent to cause any problems for the guild. I need your services too much for that. Put in a good word for me, eh?
All right. So that is taken care of. Back to the inn. Abner, you're feeling chipper now. You're up to the point where you think you could actually eat some of the vegetables out of a stew without anything. And you're fine now. I want to make that clear. You're fine, but feeling fine and thinking you feel fine are very different things, as I'm sure we can all attest.
Yeah. So if Abner's feeling a bit better, he will go down to the main room of the tavern and have some bland but agreeable food.
Yes, they have a cheese soup. It is bread and cheese.
Yep.
bread, cheese, and a little bit of water.
And he'll have some watered down wine, just stuff that'll keep him, make sure his stomach will take it first. And he just he doesn't want any trouble. He just wants to lay low and check out what's going on, like if he hears anything.
Okay. So
he's not wearing his ridiculous fancy robe. He's just wearing his normal robes.
You're not wearing that cowbell around your neck that says "Mug me"?
No. I'm not wearing the Elvis jumpsuit robes.
All right, so let me do some quick math here. Turgo slew that one. You slew that one. Well, I mean, you both work together, so. And we'll award XP since you guys are already in town. So let's see. And that's the joy of random encounter tables, guys. Fight club / snatch scene. And then a random encounter with a thief right afterwards, which tidied the whole thing up.
I do wish I'd gotten some of their coin off them, but that's only because I'm broke.
Each of you receives 317 experience points for that encounter.
Nice.
So 317 experience points, and that Baron Von Headbanger says he's having rat porridge in the inn.
Definitely not. Although it may be a bit like hair of the rat that bit me.
Alrighty, adventurers. So you all reconvene at the inn, and what do you wish to do?
Hey guys, do we have like I don't know, however much thousands and thousands of gold it would be for me to level?
1,500 times your current level.
Yeah.
What is it? What is
1,500 times 4.
That's numbers. That's 6,000. Yeah.
6,000.
If I can math,
6,000.
that's 6,000.
But that's 6,000 twice.
Oh, both of them.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, let me see, because I have, I'm at 13.
Since they go at different rates, I'm assuming you might not hit both of them all the time.
Yeah, let me see. I have before.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well,
Cleric's table is 13. I can definitely do cleric. And then fighter table isn't until I hit 18. So I can definitely do cleric. If we have the 6, I could.
Were you already 4th level cleric?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we need 6,000.
If we have, and then you can have all the cure diseases you want.
I have nowhere near that, but I could chip in.
Yeah, I can contribute.
500 gold. That's all.
You got 500.
That's all I got.
We won't make it. Yeah. I mean, I've got quite a bit, but not enough to add to 500 to equal 6,000.
Yeah. I would get 1 3rd level spell, so that will save us in the future. But at least
we don't have anything we can sell.
Do we need a potion of fire resistance or sweet water?
No.
We should sell those.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Would your alchemist, Sir Outlier, want them and have a good rate for them, or do you think I should sell them at the Collegium?
DM,
Yes.
those potions. Do we think? What if we were to give those over to the alchemist? Could we ask if he could replicate them?
Every admixture is slightly different. They have similar components, but he can't just like, oh, I can spectre analyze this and tell you exactly what I need. It's, there's a formula, and he can't make more of it by just having the one.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's uncorked, it's uncorked. So,
does he want them?
Sorry.
No, does he want them for resale?
He will actually. Let me see. He will entertain. That wasn't very entertaining. Let me see. So, the potion of sweet water is $250 gold. And what was the other one?
Fire resistance.
That one is 400 gold.
And he won't give me any more for either.
No, he won't.
650 gold, gents. Sound good?
It helps. It helps. Sir Outlier, you take the proceeds, put it in the bank.
Okie dokie. I'll throw them on the party funds or in my sheet.
I'd say put them in the bank. Put them on your sheet.
That's fair.
Like your character doesn't need to carry it literally, but
Yeah.
And Doomsword had a question in our chat, but maybe you didn't see it. Do you have the oil of? Did you have the oil of etherealness, or does Abner? It's on my sheet, but I think you have it.
Yeah. I thought that I use that.
I don't remember. Oil of etherealness.
Right. No, you know what? I think we had a conversation about it last time, and I mentioned, hey, I have some oil of etherealness, and you were like, that's on my sheet. And I was like, it's on mine too, but you have it. I think that's the way that went.
Correct. And it wasn't used.
You have it. I'm getting rid of it off my sheet. It's yours. Just want to make
okay.
I'm just trying to make sure this is
right.
right. So get rid of that potion, get rid of that potion, get rid of that potion.
And that's probably worth keeping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have 2 potions of healing. That's all I've got left.
Nice. Well, we need them.
Yeah. And I wish I had remembered them with the trogs, because they would have let us go a little bit further maybe, but forgot.
We would have continued our wave of obliteration.
Yeah. Okay. So we did get some more cash. Not enough.
Yep.
We're going to have to go back to work.
Yep.
Back to the office to get a new paycheck. So
and
the next
we
day
don't have a bunch of like. Sorry. Oh, sorry. We don't have a bunch of junk on that cart.
We do
20 scoots abandoned mail and that.
We do, and a lot of it could frankly go, but
yeah, I don't want to take the rest of this session and lots more just saying to Bill, hey, how about a spear? How about this?
Yeah, we'll table that and deal with it.
I'll table that and like have an offline conversation saying, next time we're back in Greyhawk, here's the list of things to be sold. Give us a lump sum and we'll just say we're done. But not this trip, maybe.
It's like when you fire up Skyrim and you haven't played in like a year. And you're like, I'm in Whiterun. I'll go over to my house. Why am I moving so slowly? You look at your inventory and you're carrying like the entire contents of a major dungeon.
Yeah.
I got to go over and sell this stuff. Spear. Well, there's no spears in Skyrim, but you know what I'm saying. Sword. So you do that for an hour. You run all the money out of there. You get light enough to start fast traveling, and because Lydia's full too. And then by the time you're done, you're like, now I remember why I stopped playing this a year ago.
That is one of 2 things I always hated about Skyrim. One, everybody was like, I want the merchants to run out of money because yay, realism. No, y'all are idiots. You should have never asked for that. 2, more importantly, no polearms.
I tell you, I was so irked. The pole arms doesn't bother me. I was so irked. There was a slight bug in Skyrim when you could invest in the shops, when you got up to where you could invest in the shops and give them more gold. The little shop, the shop in the little town where you do the first Dragon Claw quest, his available gold would blow up to like 10,500 instead of 500.
Mm-hmm.
And they push those damn patches out. You can't not have the game patched. And I was like, oh, I've got this expensive thing. Well, I'll take it over there. And so, yeah, no. Thank you, Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so jokes on them. I figured out how to right and left click quickly enough that the Augma Infinium, I could read it multiple times and just bump my stats up through the roof.
They patched that too.
Oh, for crying out! Now I'm never going to reinstall it and play it now.
I know. The moment they got rid of Augma Infinium duping, I was just like, well, oh well.
I hate them, and I'll never buy another Bethesda game until the next one comes out. Because let's face it, we're all like Starfield. Yeah, right. I'm going to buy another Gamebryo piece of crap. It's on Steam. It's available for pre-sale. Yeah. Oh, yeah, give me injected into my veins, Todd Howard. Anyway, so there you are. You have slain a couple of lycanthropes on the streets of ye old city of Greyhawk.
Yeah, too late now.
Too late now for what?
I had a thought about those lycanthropes, but it's literally too late.
Oh yeah, they're done away.
I wish I could have taken like one of their teeth or something, simply for the alchemist.
Yeah, that would have been a good thing for an alchemist, you figure. But hindsight and all.
This is part of me being fried. God damn it.
All right, so you're heading back out of the city now?
Yeah, like the next day, I guess.
Right? Okay. Alrighty. So we'll have a quick check one more night and see if anyone is approached by anyone shady. No, your evening is relatively quiet, and you settle in. Awaken in the morning. The men at arms are fresh-faced and raring to go. Where to, my lord? And all that jazz.
Back to work, you cack-headed deck apes.
Alrighty.
Indeed.
Your charisma is such that they consider that a compliment.
Good. Because I hate to hear the insults.
I consider it to be a compliment to them too.
The first day is uneventful. The second day is equally uneventful, and the morning of the third day, unless you're stopping at the last chance, are you? No. Okay. Yeah. All right. The morning of the third day. Come here, ancient dice. The morning of the third day is uneventful also. There is nothing waiting for you at the Longhouse. You haven't been gone that long. I mean, it's 3 days to Greyhawk, a night stay in Greyhawk, and 3 days back. Nothing has moved in a week. Don McVitie says, want to buy a wand? You can super chat them one, Don. I'm just kidding. No, you can't. But you could try.
Give us a wand of wonder, please. It'd be great.
How about a wand of decks of many things?
A wand of decks of many. You just point it and cards blast out the end of it.
Yeah.
I am entirely certain there is some 12-year-old in 1978 who invented that very thing. And I will be disappointed if I find out that that's not true.
I gave like a level 1 party a wand of wonder once. They just had so much fun with it because the chain plate explodes in their face is just so great.
Stupid amounts of fun with that thing. I had the party I had a group get one. They shrank themselves. They literally didn't. They thought they'd made a giant field of grass. They were testing it outside of town. They're like, the grass grew.
It's like, how do we undo this? We can't.
Yeah. Then the giant sheep attacked, so they realized that they had, okay. There you are at the cabin. What do you guys wish to do? Going back to Castle Greyhawk?
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to go in the front or back?
Yeah, before we go in, what's our plan? Where are
Trogs.
we going to go? Trog some more?
Trog some more.
Finish them off.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Let me get my map open here. Alrighty. You approach the castle. It is a sunny, but again, very cool day. So the almost mile walk from your longhouse to the cabin is fairly uneventful.
And we've got Leo and Nurm, right?
Yes.
And a dog, and Darwesh, and my 2 bodyguards. Stuart is back at the house. Okay, gotcha.
And
Jeff. Jeff is back at the house.
Actually, question.
Hmm.
Do we want to leave my dog behind, or do we want to leave Leo and Nurm behind and just keep my dog?
They're your people. You decide.
Dog's
Bring the
probably
dog.
more useful if you don't mind him getting, potentially getting killed.
I got him
by,
for
like, an
I got Jim for a reason.
Yeah.
Bring the dog. Leave Leo and Nurm behind.
Yeah, and he's fast.
I'll do that. And worst comes to worst, I can take I can take and tie a stretcher to him, and he can drag one of you out.
True.
Oh, that reminds me. When y'all weren't paying attention, and I'm going to show you the leather handles I have attached, like literally right there as drag collars, and a great big metal hook that I have attached to the dog's collar. It's like,
Okay.
put 2 and 2 together, right?
That actually answers my question on how you're getting the dog down the cistern. If you're going down the cistern.
Oh, yes.
So you can just very easily lower him down in there. And so you find yourselves in the cistern. Nothing finds you at the moment. Wet, dripping, dark, various graffitis on the wall. That constant odor of mildew and dampness surrounding you. Faint rustling sound from somewhere, you're not sure where, echoing. To your left, that is to you got the dwarf with you, so you know it's to the west. You have the door, which is still slightly ajar, opening into the collapsed room that leads into the caves, that leads to your destiny.
And then we have the wall and the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turgo, will you just do a quick scout to make sure nothing's changed much?
The burlap wall.
In the collapsed room to the west?
Certainly.
You gonna bring the dog with you?
Well, he's probably quieter than I am, but if he smells something that I don't,
he's actually not. I mean, his harness kind of clanks, and he's
jingle, 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 jingle.
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of figure he's about the size. He's broader at the shoulders and definitely thicker at the waist, but I figure he's about the height of Zeus, my Labrador Retriever. So yeah, he's not quiet.
Yeah, and the claws on the tile and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There is nothing in the collapsed room that seems out of sorts. The ever-present puddle of stagnant water is still there. You don't know if it's any lower. It's probably not higher because you can still circumnavigate it on either side to get to the fallen wall where you can go through.
Right. So I'll go ahead and motion forward the other people, assuming they can see me. If not, I'll come back to them and relay what I found.
So let's go. One of Abner's bodyguards is holding a torch, so we have some light. Let us go and find our way back to the troglodyte lair.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so you begin to move through the dungeon towards the troglodyte lair. Now, for both my players and our audience, probably won't get through the troglodyte encounter tonight. We're about 10 minutes from the top of the hour. But we will, you will meander in that direction. So you cross the gallery, curving down through the tunnel. Did somebody just spring a leak? Curving down through the tunnel into the star-shaped passageway, junction of halls, and thence southeast through the cysts and chambers that lead you to where you fought the troglodytes. Their stink is still heavy in the air. It's not debilitating. You are not surprised they have piled up skulls, detritus, rocks, and that sort of thing. And there is, at the choke point on the far end, not on the entrance end, but on the far end of the first cave where you encounter the troglodytes, there is what appears to be some kind of guard outpost with troglodytes. Would you say manning it, or would you say troglodyting it? But anyway, in position with javelins. They begin to hiss and whistle and are grabbing up their javelins. They are approximately 50 feet away, so we will go down through declarations. What is Outlier doing, TK?
Casting Hold Person.
Casting Hold Person. Okay. It appears there's more than 3, but you can...
How many have javelins?
All of them.
Okay, well, I'll get 3 of them.
Okay, Doomsword, what is Turgo doing?
Firing my bow.
Abner Kadabra.
How many were there? Sorry.
There are 5 or 6. It's a little hard to tell.
I will cast Sleep.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll initiative, and we're going to start at the top of the order with TK.
Okay. That is a 6.
That just beats them. Sleep is a single segment, but missile fire will go first. Those of you firing missiles, which includes Darwish, by the way. Did it wait? Hang on a second. Hang on. Darwish, he is...
I want to say he had like a crossbow, didn't he? Maybe not.
No, he does not. He does not. He just...
He may as well have my bow then.
lightly clashes. He's not proficient. He lightly clashes his broadsword on his shield and is ready to defend the flanks if he has to.
We'll deal with that back and down. Range weapon is always a plus.
Well, when he gets a level and can take a proficiency, that may be a while though. Okay, missile fire, please go.
Oh, I got a 17 hits AC 2.
That absolutely hits.
Poor damage. 1.
Okay, that's my traveler character sheet, not the troglodyte. TR. They both came up. All right, so let's see. So that's 1 point of damage. Anybody else? Missile fire? Was there a spear?
I am also going to shout "dead baby" in Dwarvish and send the dog in.
Okay. Dog bolts across the cave. Hold person and sleep. Or wait, how many segments is hold person? That's
5. I checked. So
5. Okay. So sleep will go first. That's right. Okay. Sleep. Roll.
Sleep.
Are they 2 hit dice creatures?
They are. In this case, no.
Then if there are more, I will roll 1d4 or even less. You tell me.
You are going to roll a d4.
Okay.
And then you
One.
put the dog to sleep.
Okay. Now roll. What is it for one hit dice?
One hit dice is up to 1 is 4d4. 1 plus 1 to 2 is 2 to 8.
Roll 2d4.
2d4. 5.
Okay, so the ones at the guard post and the dog all fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Pooch just kind of trot. So they're all of them, the large one and the ones who are kind of smaller, maybe a little bit smaller than a hobgoblin and lighter in skin color, are asleep. And you're close enough to them now that the smell, the putrid odor is wafting towards you. And let me just double check real quick.
And there weren't any others, right?
Not immediately. Not immediately.
Oh, well. There goes that spell.
Hang on a second. I'm going to say that you are far enough away that you cannot be affected by the odor. There are some, you can hear them shuffling around in the back, so you can actually, your hold person can potentially affect some more. I'm sorry if that was unclear.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so you can grab a few more with hold person, and I get 3 saves.
Yep.
So let's see here. Oh, for pity's sake.
I should have bought a dog whistle.
Oh wow, that's unfortunate. Because I know that one saves. I gotta. Let me see.
1 edge case, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's 2 edge cases and 1 foreshore that made their save. So, I mean, is it better that you didn't waste it?
No, that's the thing. You can save against the spell, so it's. I thought you could save against sleep too, but I guess not.
No. So sleep.
I'm thinking of basic fantasy. That's why.
Sleep is the low-level magic user's fireball spell.
Mm-hmm.
Really is. I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, magic missile, magic. And I don't want to learn sleep, man. Sleep's useless. It doesn't kill anything. Hello, ding dong. Okay, so let's see. So
I
these
always
are
liked shocking grasp better as a kid because I'm like, it's better damage.
Oh wow! So only one of them saves. 2 more of them slump to the floor, and the others. Well, you know what? We're at the top of the hour, so I know what they're going to do in the next round. We'll come back to that next week. I want to thank our players. I want to thank everybody in our audience. What a good audience tonight. 20 of you guys out there or more, which for me is really good numbers. So I thank everyone for being there. And thank you, Tonka Todd, for the little shout out there. Yes, please do, if you like this video and you like live Let's Play AD&D with a bent towards kind of explaining the ongoings and the inner mechanisms of AD&D, please give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below and tell me what you liked. And I'll tell you what, if you didn't like it, tell me what you didn't like about it. But either way, do leave us a comment. Players, any closing thoughts before we wrap it up for this week?
I hope they don't stab my dog.
I hopefully don't stab your dog too.
Sure.
Now Doomsword will be here on Friday for the conclusion, the exciting horror-filled conclusion of our live Let's Play Call of Cthulhu stream on Friday. And that's all we're doing Friday, folks.
I have to catch up. I have to binge on that. Crap.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. No preamble show, just straight into Call of Cthulhu, which could be fairly short. There may be after show. I thought you didn't make short videos, Bill. This one says it only clocks in at 10 minutes. Well,
Hey, it'd be the one
Danforth
good one.
got us into trouble. He's the first to go, and I'm running as soon as he dies.
Character with the highest movement rate is the one that lasts the longest in Call of Cthulhu.
Yep.
Hey, you don't have to be the fastest one. You just have to be faster than the slowest one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And of course, TK, you will be here tomorrow night for Classic Traveler.
And I will be there this time.
That's awesome, bro. I understand. I mean, hey, we're all about recognizing real life and that sort of thing as it comes in. But thank you again to everybody. Listen, to my audience, I love you guys all. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us tonight. It's always great to see a stream start and stay strong all the way through to the beginning, because that means I know we're showing you guys stuff you want to see. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And till then, bye-bye.